Yo, yo, we is back. What's up, Kenneth? JB, back in my domain, man. You know, hey, man, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you check out the Outside Live, man. We outside, man. Federal Hill, man. Enjoying Easter weekend, man. Hit that like button, hit that hype button. You know, see what it's like to hang out with Keep It G News, man. You know, we go guaranteed a good time. You heard me? What's up, Shalon? You guaranteed a good time you fuck with Keep It G, man. Straight up, man. Yo, people was upset on Instagram about my take on Gucci and Pooh Shiesty situation. Got Major in the building, Shalonda in the building. You know what I mean? What it do? Yo, people upset, man. I just realized that people make excuses for, artists that they like. People will make an excuse for them. Like, it's crazy. I was like, I don't make excuses for niggas. I don't. I won't. It is what it is. You know what I mean? People mad because I said Gucci deserved to get robbed, yo. Yo, some people do deserve to get robbed, though, y'all. Like, I be trying to keep it all the way real with y'all, man. Yo, some people be so flashy, so flamboyant, so disrespectful. You understand? And they're doing it in some of the most dangerous environments, some of the most poverty-stricken environments imaginable. At that point, it's like you flaunting it in our face. So with Gucci situation, if Gucci really owed, not owed $25 million, but see, y'all, you gotta look at the whole scenario. Gucci dropped all his artists. First, gotta understand that. He dropped all his artists, kept Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano. Pooh Shiesty gets booked. While Pooh Shiesty is incarcerated for about 4 years, I'm sure he paying attention to his metrics. One way or another, it comes out by Pooh Shiesty Peoples. I don't know if this number is accurate, but it could be somewhere in that ballpark. That Gucci Mane made $25 million. $25 million off of Pooh Shiesty's name while he was incarcerated. While he's incarcerated, also, Big 30 dies. Like, people gotta look at the whole story. Not Big 30. Big Scar dies. Big Scar is Pooh Shiesty, little cousin. Before Big Scar is in the ground, he ain't in the ground yet. They still trying to get together burial money. Gucci Mane or somebody in 1017, more likely it wasn't even Gucci, probably was his wife. In 1017 is asking for the chains back. So you Pooh Shiesty, you looking at this whole situation. You in a joint. You hearing how it's playing out. Man, Gucci on some bullshit. Now you factor that in with whatever problems that Pooh Shiesty may have been having, may or may have not been having with the label while he was incarcerated. Right? Comes home. And mind you, y'all, in jail while you're incarcerated. Man, what do you say about Cuban Assassin, man? I fuck with Cuban Assassin, yo. Cuban Assassin, Cuban Assassin told me I'm the reason he started a YouTube channel, man. We explode him like what? Yeah, yo, that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna get back to the Cuban Assassin. I'm interested in that. Oh man, for real? I'm gonna have to check that out. But So meanwhile, you incarcerated. You know, you watching, you paying attention to your metrics. You heard how he played with your family. Whatever issues that he may have had going on while he was incarcerated and trying to get money and trying to get things done. You come home. At this point, you probably want out the deal. You know what I mean? He on some fuck shit. I don't want nothing to do with him. Right? But I think before it got to that, I think he probably wanted some money. You know, yo, I need some bread. You tell me you broke. And which in that case, Gucci probably is broke. You know, because I think Keisha handles the affairs. But one way or another, a check don't get cut. And remember, y'all, when Pooh Shiesty first came home, he wasn't dropping no music. Everybody was wondering why. He was already having issues contractually with Gucci Mane. So you finally get him to have this meeting with you. Face to face. Probably the first face to face encounter he had since he been home with the nigga. I'm sure it was. Yo, I need out this contract. I even need some money. I need out this contract. Something got to be done. He tells you no, can't do, I can't do it. We ain't doing none of that shit. Yo, that right there, factored in with everything else that went on, is enough to make a motherfucker snap. Because like I said, the most important part about this is you got rid of everybody else. No issues. Mind you, you didn't make money off of them. So on a business element, on a business side, for Gucci, that probably was a good idea. You know, you probably losing fucking with these niggas. Now, I'm your money maker. Yo, you should want to make sure I'm happy. And it doesn't seem like that's what Gucci was doing. Because if he was making sure Pooh Shiesty was happy, yo, I don't think this would have never happened, man. So it's a tough situation. But what I said that to say, regardless of how people think, yo, Pooh Shiesty crashed out. Yeah, he did crash out. Yeah, we're going to get to that. So he did crash out. Yo, but everybody has been to a point where logic goes out the window. You want people to think every situation through. Like, that's idealistically, that's what you want. That's what you expect out of people. Think. I teach it to my kids. Before you make a decision, yo, think it through, yo. Don't always go with your first move. You feel me? But there are times where you just snap. Where it's just like, yo, enough is enough. You got Pooh Shiesty, who's about what he's talking about, obviously. If we didn't learn that from the last instance, we learned it from this one. Gucci kept these boys around. Yo, part of the reason that Gucci disrespected Jeezy like that is because Pooh Shiesty and them was with him. He knew what he was dealing with. You know, as Gucci Mane, you know you dealing with a young dude that's on that. For real, he ain't just rapping. On countless songs, this man said, I don't give a fuck about this rap shit. Like, and I'm going to show y'all, yo, Pooh Shiesty was similar to like a King Von, to where he enjoyed this street shit. He loves it. Like, I don't even think for like him being jail, he probably cool. We're going back to jail about that shit. And that's how some people is. So if you Gucci, you understand what you're dealing with. Yo, you might can't, yo, it's like, you got to treat everybody different. Everybody's situation is different. You understand? You might can pull that shit on a finesse 2 times, or I ain't saying finesse 2 times or suck or nothing like that, but he might be more logical in his approach. You dealing with Pooh Shiesty, who's a fucking live wire. You know he is. You know he is. So why would you play with a show like that? And I think that's how Pooh Shiesty felt. It's like, yo, this nigga is playing with me, yo. He played with my family with the big scar situation. You playing with my money. You playing with my career. Man, fuck that shit, man. And he snapped. And it happens, though, y'all. Like, yo, people act like, yo, like this, and it doesn't happen. Everybody has been to a point where enough was enough and you just snapped. Not saying that it's right. But in certain situations, I can evaluate it and I can at least say, yo, understand them. And that's all I'm saying, yo. You don't gotta agree with what Pooh Shiesty allegedly did, but to say you don't understand, if everything is true that we've been hearing, to say you don't understand, that's crazy, y'all. Because I do understand, Ben, because it wasn't, and you could tell by how it was done. And I don't think the other people supposed to got robbed. I think the other people just went left, just went rogue, and just did. That's really what fucked everything out. That's really what fucked everything up. But you can tell in the manner in which he did it that, yo, it was bigger than just the contract. It was about respect. You understand? He took that ring and robbed them. That was off respect, man. Because if it was just about that's how you know that Pooh Shiesty felt heavily disrespected by whatever was going on between them boys. Because if it was just about the contract, he could have just put the gun to him, made him sign the contract. No, it wasn't just about the contract. It was about everything. It's about the contract. It's about the games. It's about the disrespect. It was about all of that, man. And that's what he did, y'all. Yeah, he crashed out. He definitely crashed out. For certain. I ain't going to say he ain't crashed out. But I'm just saying a lot of people online is like flabbergasted at the fact that he did this. Like, yo, wow, that was crazy. But it's like, yo, sometimes it get crazy, yo. Yeah, he is. He is. You're right. It wasn't the right way to go about it. He's definitely still signed to Gucci. He is. It wasn't a winning formula. You know, he didn't win in this situation. But sometimes it be like that. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes it be like that. Now, ideally, it should never be like that. But, yo, people acting like they ain't never been there. Especially if you've never been outside in the streets. Yo, you've been to a point where it's just like, man, fuck, yo, he playing with me. He playing with me. That's why you got situations where motherfuckers is getting, it's just a lot of other situations going on, yo, and a lot of that could be justified or explained in a way that the disrespect level was so high that logic and reason go out the window. Yo, remember I told y'all some few things in life that overrides logic, you know, that overrides reason. You know, love. Clout chasing seems to be a thing that logic and reason go out the window. Envy, jealousy, and disrespect. Sometimes, yo, you can be disrespected so much that, yo, you don't give a fuck. You're not even thinking about the consequences. And I don't think Pooh Shiesty at that point in time, at that moment, I don't think he cared about the consequences, man. Because I think with Pooh Shiesty, respect is everything to him. Probably got pride issues. You know, respect is everything. And I don't think he actually mind going back to jail. I'm going to show y'all a video of him talking to somebody that was incarcerated. And just yo, he loved it. And like a King Von type. Like, there's people in this world that don't mind going to jail about their respect, about their morals, about their principles. Yo, they put it all on the line. They put it all on the line, yo. And I think Pooh Shiesty was one of them guys, man. I think he was one of them guys that's willing to put it all on the line about crossing certain lines. And he did, yo. And I can't say he was right, but I can't say he was wrong. My whole thing when it comes out of that is, as long as you're willing to stand on your decision making, yo, do your thing. You know? And it looked like he is, based off that his mugshot. That he ain't seem like a dude that was upset. Yo probably was telling niggas in the joint when I come home I'ma rob Gucci, man. Trying to tell you, yo, it probably was that deep. He probably was telling niggas in the joint, yo, when I come home I'ma rob the shit out Gucci. He playing with me. He playing with me, yo. Telling you how people think. Now, you would hope that it never be the case, yo, but sometimes it is. Especially when you're incarcerated and all you got time to think, and you just hearing all these stories. Yo, Gucci disrespected Big Scar. Gucci going back and forth. Yo, it ain't really Gucci, it's the girl. And then once you factor that part in, that make it even worse. Let's say it wasn't Gucci, but it was his wife. as a man, yo, that makes you furious at another man. I'm telling you, any stand-up dude to tell you that, yo, when you addressing a man and his woman is getting in the way of that, yo, that is fucking frustrating. I'm telling you, y'all, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, y'all. Any man of morals and principles will tell you that, yo, when I got customers, say when I got a tow and there's a man and a woman there, even if she called for the tow, I talk to the man, just on some man to man shit. You feel me? Just on some man. No disrespect to the woman, but 7 times out of 10, she don't even know about cars. So if it's a man there, anything I need to address, I'm gonna address it to him. And when you talk about some shit like the Gucci and them had going on between the labels and the money and all that, yo, why the fuck I gotta keep talking to her, bro? I signed to you. All right, she cutting the checks, but I signed to you. I talk to you. You talk to her. You talk to her. And when me and you talking, can you control that? Ain't none of y'all never been in that type of situation where it say like the woman is more stand up than the guy? Yo, what the fuck? Hey, yo, how the fuck you make that up? Yo, that's a goddamn shame, right? Make it the fuck way, bro, man. He said, he said, Pooh signed the BS contract in the first place, but everybody used the same excuse why they did it. Yeah, he did. It was a bad contract. It might not have been a bad contract at the time, because Pooh Shiesty's situation wasn't like Finesse. Finesse came home on fire. For the most part, I don't think the world knew Pooh Shiesty until he signed with Gucci. I think Finesse could have built up his buzz. He could have used that momentum he came from coming home and took off without mob ties. You feel me? I don't think Pooh Shiesty got a lot of money up front. I don't think he got a lot of money up front. And if that's it, all right, say I'm the executive, right? It's similar to like quarterback signed a contract. Right? Quarterback signed a contract. After year 2, it says a 5-year deal. After year 3, if you you ain't get your first contract, you got like a bullshit contract. You ain't get no Supermax money, right? You ain't get no Supermax money. Contract 5 years. Let's say you're getting backup quarterback money. Contract 5 years, let's see. 30 million. What's that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 35 million. Right? So on year 3, you take the team to the Super Bowl. Year 4, you're gonna be trying to still go, you still gonna try to play under that contract? As the owner, right? You know this guy exceeded expectations. You know this. He took us to the Super Bowl. He was just a backup quarterback. And he come to you like owner. Yo, I'm not happy with this contract. I know I signed it. I signed it as a backup. But now I'm starting and I took us to the Super Bowl. Would it be the right thing to do? Would the right thing to do would be to, you know what? Right. You did supersede this contract. I know I signed you for 5, and technically, business-wise, I can still keep you for another 2 years and pay you $5 million. But what you mean to my organization, I don't want you disgruntled. You earned more money. Technically, you still under contract. I can keep you and make you play out these next 2 years, but you're not going to be happy. Your level of play might drop. So yeah, technically I don't have to do this, but yeah, I'll restructure for you. What if it was a situation like that between Gucci and Pooh Shiesty? Pooh Shiesty, whatever contract he signed, he exceeded that. He exceeded it. So the right thing to do would have been, even though he don't have to do this, but then if you don't do it, go back to the football player. What if the football player decided to sit out? Well, look, man, if you ain't gonna pay me, I ain't playing. I ain't playing. And I just take whatever fines that come along with it. Man, fuck yeah, he superseded his contract, man. Yo, Pooh Shiesty was one of the hottest young niggas in the rap game, man. He was next to Dirk and Youngboy. It was probably Dirk, Youngboy, Pooh Shiesty. Or Youngboy, Dirk, Pooh Shiesty, however people want to look at it. Yo, the man got over damn near 3 billion streams. 3 billion. I don't think, and I wish we can find the contract and find the numbers, but yo, he exceeded that contract, man. And for this thing not to spiral out of control, the best thing, business-wise, and logically, you feel me? Knowing who you deal with, know you dealing with a loose cannon. You know, not the snitch nigga from California. I'm talking about like a real loose cannon, like Shorty ain't got it all. The best thing to do business-wise was to restructure that man deal. And if you wasn't trying to restructure that man deal, you don't have to do none of this. But Gucci hasn't had these issues up until recently. He haven't had these issues, man. It's like these issues that's Gucci having with his artists is new. He ain't had these issues with none of these other people, man. So it's like, why are you having these issues now? Something changed. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. And I think what he should have done was restructure. You ain't had to let him out the deal. You know, you don't just want to let money walk out the door. But you should at least cut that boy a check or restructured it in a way that made sense for everybody. He could have done that, yo. And by him not doing any of that, I understand why Pooh Shiesty robbed him, man. That's all I'm saying. Now, yeah, I can, yo. I can't say he exceeded no matter, yo. I'm sure, yo. I'm not gonna say, yo. I would be willing to bet that we can find out that Pooh Shiesty ain't get more than probably $3 million. Yeah, he used to do that. What's up, Cash? You don't think, yo, before Dirk got booked, Dirk signed for $30 million. Before Dirk got booked, Dirk signed for $30 million. Youngboy just signed for what? What was Youngboy last contract? $40 million? Yo, Pooh Shiesty should have been up there in that range, man. Pooh Shiesty should have been up there in that range, yo. So I can't fault yo. I know he ain't get nowhere close to that. Youngboy signed for 50. Pooh Shiesty should have been up there in that range. So I can't get mad at y'all for not wanting to work under the same contract. Let's say it was $5 million. Let's say it was $6 million. I can't get mad at y'all for not wanting to work under that contract, man. He actually didn't honor the contract. I mean, I got, yo, but the songs that he did put out, he put out 2 albums. Pooh Shiesty got 2 albums. I think he probably didn't honor the contract as far as album wise, but I'm sure they recoup. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just off 1 album, yo, he got that back, man. So I can't fault you for being played, y'all. Like this is a unique situation, y'all. Like this is not a situation that we ever seen before. Like people like to compare this to Finesse. This is not like Finesse, y'all. This is way different. We looked up we looked up finesse 2 times streams compared to fucking Pooh Shiesty's. Finesse 2 times got 800 and I think it was 25 million streams. Yo, Pooh Shiesty got 2.9 billion streams, bro. He got over 1 billion more streams than that man, yo. Like, yo, this is a unique situation. Pay that man. Yo, that is a man that needs to be paid, man. It's like you dealing with a superstar quarterback. You don't want to play. You don't want to play games with him. Pay that, whatever he want. Pay him because we need him. It's like playing with Patrick Mahomes. Pooh Shiesty was the Patrick Mahomes at 10-17. Do you think in his prime? Do you think the Chiefs will play games with Patrick Mahomes in his prime? You know what I mean? Will the Chiefs play games with a young Patrick Mahomes in his prime? Will he even take a chance of that boy touching free agency? Or is he going to make sure he right? That's all I'm saying, yo. But we're going to get back to that, yo, because I wonder, we got to watch some shit on fucking Donald Trump shit, man. We got to miss some politics in here somehow. We're going to get back to Pooh Shiesty. No money. Pooh just wanted off the label. He ain't want to do. Hey, even Money Mitch. Even if that's the case, can you blame him for how he carried his family while he was in there? You know, that wasn't part of the deal. You know, nigga ain't. That wasn't in the plans. I can't even blame him. So did y'all hear Trump talk about this rescue mission? So we had a fighter jet shot down in Iran. Listen to
it's a great honor to be with you. And
yeah, business is business, y'all. Business is business. Yeah, but you don't want disgruntled employees. Is disgruntled employees good business? You know what I mean? If your employees, your number one employee is disgruntled, is you doing good business? Would you say that's good business? He was disgruntled. This is your fucking number one employee. It's like you're damn near, you just like your CFO. You gotta make sure that boy right, man. Whatever you gotta do. You gotta make sure that boy right. But I want y'all to listen to how Donald Trump, characterized this rescue of a U.S. soldier. Like, this shit is crazy. Your war is crazy, man.
Happy Easter. We had a great Easter. This is one of our better Easters, I think, in a lot of different ways. I can say militarily, it's been one of the best. So, good afternoon. We have quite a bit to discuss. We'll go into pretty good detail. And we have the people that are most involved. We'll give you exactitude. And we're here today to celebrate the success of one of the largest, most complex, most harrowing combat searches. I guess you would call it a search and rescue mission ever attempted by the military. Generally, when planes are knocked down in war, especially when you're fighting a strong group, an evil group, you can't really do this because you send in 200 men to pick up one. And it's something that's usually not attempted as much as you want to attempt. And bad things happen to that one or two. And in this case, we did too. It might not have been attempted before, but we did. And we had great time.
Man, shit, I think Pooh Shiesty would do that shit to anybody. I ain't gonna lie, babyface. Yo, I don't think Pooh Shiesty got picks, bro. And see, but this is what I've been talking about though too, y'all. The difference, the thing that sets, all right, it's like it's positives and negatives to being a black CEO of a record label, right? The positives is what the black CEOs have over top of the white CEOs is that we can relate to our artists. You understand? So we can get closer to them by bonding in a way that white CEOs can't. Now, the negative, the adverse to that is a lot of times the artists will get confused as to thinking that we are friends. Right? So they're going to expect you to do things that they might not expect the white CEO to do. And when you show that, when you present yourself in that way, and it seems as though we close, like it's not really like you my boss, you like my man, you my homeboy, I work for you, yo, but we go party together, we drink together, we smoke together, we do all this together. Things that I never do with him. Because we don't share the same struggle. We're just, we're not the same kind of people. So when you start showing me, right? When you start showing me characteristics that the white CEO would show, which means in 1 minute we cool, but the next minute is business. That's confusing. And that can get presented back to me like, man, you on some bitch ass shit. You lied to me. You tricked me. You manipulated me. You made me think. And a lot of times it might not even be the CEO, the black CEO fault. It's just the dynamics of the relationship. You made me think that we was cool. Now I'm starting to see, now we having this money issue. I'm starting to see that we were never cool. That you really just used who you are in your relationship to, being a part of the culture as a way to lure me in. And that can be, and once you find that out, that's the niggas crash out. It's the same thing that happened with Finesse. And in Mob Ties, he talked about it. So, that's how that go. But I think Pooh Shiesty would have did that shit to motherfucking anybody. Cause I just think that's type time he was on.
Talent, we got a little luck too, I would say. And
if he wouldn't do it to them, it would be not because they white. It would be because that person never presented themselves like we was friends. I always knew it was a business relationship. You never presented itself that we was more than just business partners. So I ain't gonna take it there with you.
People, a lot of great people. And it was an honor to be involved with it. It's very historic. This is a rescue that's very historic. It'll go down in the books. Late Thursday night, an American F-15 fighter jet went down deep inside enemy territory in Iran while participating in Operation Epic Fury, where we're doing unbelievably well, at a level that nobody's ever seen before. The entire country can be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night. Both members of the crew ejected from the aircraft and landed alive. On Iranian soil, I immediately was asked to make a decision. I ordered the U.S. Armed Forces to do whatever was necessary to bring our brave warriors back home. A risky decision, because we could have ended up with 100 dead as opposed to 1 or 2. It's a hard decision to make. But in the United States military, we leave no American behind. We don't do it. Within hours, our armed forces deployed 21 military aircraft into hostile airspace, many flying at very low altitude, being shot by bullets. You bring rifles into play when you're going that low, but there are also certain advantages. And in broad daylight over Iran for 7 hours, at times facing very, very heavy enemy fire. We have a helicopter that's got a lot of bullets in it. It's amazing. We just realized how good those weapons are. Our machines are Nobody has the equipment that we have, and nobody has the military that we have. Not even close.
Hit that like button, subscribe if
The
you
most
new, y'all.
powerful military anywhere in the world by far. The flight crews and warfighters aboard those aircraft took extraordinary risks to rescue their fellow service members. This first wave of search and rescue forces successfully located the pilot of the F-15, and he was extracted from enemy territory by an HH-60 Jolly Green II helicopter. Fabulous machine as our warriors faced gunfire at very close range. It's amazing that
Yo, this was a very dangerous operation, man. And it's sad that American soldiers are being put at risk for some shit that ain't got nothing to do with us. I'm playing this so y'all can hit. Yo, this was a very, very, very dangerous operation. Yo, put hella people's lives in danger. We are putting hella people's lives in danger. For what? Like, yo, like if I was a Marine or I would refuse. I go to jail, yo. If I participate in some shit like this, man, knowing that this ain't benefiting my country.
Get the machinery, what happened, that nobody was even injured. Meanwhile, the second crew member, a weapons officer, highly respected colonel, had landed a significant distance away from the pilot. When you're going at those speeds, even if you go out 2 or 3 seconds later, it's miles and miles away because you're going fast. He was injured quite badly and stranded in an area teeming with terrorists from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps rough group, as well as besieged militia and local authorities. Many, on top of everything else, they told the communities actually within side of Iran, the people of Iran, they were given a tremendous incentive to find this pilot. Despite the peril, the officer followed his training and climbed into the treacherous mountain terrain and started climbing toward a higher altitude, something they were trained to do in order to evade capture. They want to always go as far away from the site of the shoot down. You want to go as far away because they all head right to that site. You want to be as far away as you can. And he was injured, and he was an amazing thing.
Hey, yo, this not Trump's fault, man. Well, we would have been in this war no matter who was the president, except for me. If I was the president, I'd be like, man, fuck this shit. But any of these other politicians, it was going to be the same result.
Cliff faces, bleeding rather profusely, treated his own wounds and contacted American forces to transmit his location. They have a very sophisticated beeper type apparatus that is on them at all times. And when they go out on these missions, they make sure they have lots of battery space and they're in good shape. And this one worked really well, amazingly, saved his life. We immediately mobilized a massive operation to retrieve him from the mountain holdout. And he kept going higher and higher. The mountain kept getting rougher and rougher and really very, very hard to find. The second rescue mission involved 155 aircraft.
It is a good question. I seen somebody else pose that question too. Why we ain't show their faces? Like, these are heroes. We should see these people. That is odd.
Including 4 bombers, 64 fighters, 48 refueling tankers, 13 rescue aircraft, and more. We were bringing them all over, and a lot of it was subterfuge. We wanted to have them think he was in a different location because they had a vast military force out there. Thousands of people were looking. So we wanted them to look in different areas, so we were right on top of them. We had 7 different locations where they thought, and they were very confused. They said, well, wait a minute, they've got groups here, they've got groups there. It's an amazing thing. I was listening to these great people, these great generals. General Raisin Kane was amazing, and Pete Hegseth was amazing. But I listened to the whole thing. It was pretty amazing. So they had all these different sites where everybody thought he was located. We think we have him over there because they have 9 planes circling a little area that's 25 miles down the coast. So in a breathtaking show of skill and precision, lethality and force, America's military descended on the area, the real area, engaged the enemy, rescued the stranded officer, destroyed all threats, and exited Iranian territory while taking no casualties of any kind. The heroic F-15 weapon system officer had evaded capture on the ground in Iran for almost 48 hours. That's a long time when you're in tough shape and when you're bleeding. It's a long time. When we left, as you probably know, we had 2 large planes, pretty old planes that carried a lot. We needed a lot more equipment going in than coming out, obviously, because going in, we needed to be able to scale mountains, and we had a lot of equipment. But the sand was sandy, wet sand, so we thought there may be a problem taking off because of the weight of the plane, and then we also had all the men jumping back onto the planes, and they got pretty well bogged down, and we had a contingency plan, which was unbelievable, where lighter, faster aircraft came in, and they took them out. We blew up the old planes. We blew them up to smithereens because we had equipment on the planes that, frankly, we'd like to take, but I don't think it was worthwhile spending another 4 hours there taking it off. So we didn't want anybody to have. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. We didn't want anybody examining our anti-aircraft and other equipment. So these were large planes that were old and pretty old, and we blew them up. And we had faster, lighter planes come in, and they were able to land on the sand. We needed the bigger planes because we had so much equipment that we needed. We took 3 helicopters over there, which were very strongly used, and couldn't have lived without them. They performed unbelievably well. And if you'd see it, you wouldn't believe it. They came off the plane, and these guys had them. The rotors were off. They rebuilt these helicopters in less than 10 minutes. And that was one of the more amazing things. These are helicopters, small, unbelievably powerful, but small, very small, so it can get into certain areas. And they got them off the plane, and they rebuilt all 3 of them in a matter of less than, I would say, less than 10 minutes. It's pretty amazing what the genius of these people. Who would think that? You'd think it would take 5 days to build them. And in some companies, it would take 5 days, and they wouldn't do it well. But they served us well. As Commander-in-Chief, I never forget the extraordinary risk taken by the warriors that we send into battle, and the genius. I mean, think of it, having a contingency of 3 planes waiting because we think the sand is so bad that we probably won't be able to take off. And the planes really got bogged. The sand this was not much of a runway. This was a farm. Not a runway, it's a farm, but it did the trick. But to have a contingency as opposed to having to wait 2 days, can you imagine right in the middle? This was central. This was right, you would call it central casting if you were doing a movie for location. And probably the toughest area in Iran where we'd be sitting there.
That's a damn shame, yo. We got our soldiers involved in this bullshit. Like these men could have lost their life, yo, for a war that doesn't benefit America. All it's doing is hurting us, man.
Planes came in, those pilots came in so fast and so quick and got out of there. Everybody got aboard and just got 15-minute intervals. 1 load out, 1 load out, 1 load out. It happened, and we were watching, and we said that.
Yo, they was getting shot at and everything. Like, oh, this is fucked up, yo.
That's amazing. It's in many ways I was almost more impressed by the contingency that we had than the fact that, if we would have had a runway or decent soil, but it was an amazing thing. But we thank God for every single one of them and the talent. The genius is not even talent, it's genius. It's the whole ball game, every one of them. Now, if you look at what we did with Maduro, we went into a military compound, a massive, with thousands and thousands of soldiers, and within a matter of minutes, and he lived behind iron doors. There were steel doors, broke them down so quickly. And within almost minutes, he was in the back of these planes.
Yo,
It
he
was
be
a similar
talking.
group.
Yo, he be talking like he was there. Like, like yo, you don't got this type of courage, bro. They broke him down, yo. We ain't do a goddamn thing. You watch that shit from the motherfucking Situation Room. The fuck? Don't keep talking about we. We ain't do a goddamn thing, right?
Incredible. We have incredibly talented people. And if the time comes, we move heaven and earth to bring them home safely. We're going to bring our people home safely. I want to thank every member of the U.S. Armed Forces involved in these historic operations. They really were historic.
Pierre,
It's just not.
You said you was in the service. Yo, so what's your thoughts on this? Like, you cool with this? You cool with this military operation we got going on in Iran? Cause you say Trump, he was the best president you served under. Are you cool with this? Like, what benefit are the United States, the business, or the people getting from this war in Iran? I don't see any benefit, man. For real. I don't see no benefit. How are we benefiting from this?
Something that's done. And you'd understand it. Not that they don't want to do it, but when you're going into areas, when you look at these helicopters, when you look at the amount of bullets and everything else that they took, when you go into these areas, you don't come out like we came out. God was watching us. Well, it was the Easter, we were in Easter territory, I guess, but God was watching us. It's amazing. Because when you look at the machinery, they took damage. It tells you, first thing I said is, these are unbelievable machines, how they flew back and not even much of a problem. But these two extraordinary rescues, because it was two, and as you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour. Then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. And talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it, and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail.
For real?
And we know who, and you know who we're talking about.
That's crazy.
Because some things you can't do. Because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land that was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award. So when you add that to it, but we have to find that leaker because that's a sick person. Probably didn't realize the extent of how bad.
Paul, I think that's how they compromised them. I think that's how they compromised them. Yo, when those attempts was made on his life, if y'all can remember, I said, yo, I don't think he's gonna be the same person that he was last presidency.
It was. I can't imagine that the person did, but we're going to find out. It's national security, and the person that did the story will go to jail if he doesn't say, and that doesn't last long, and I think everybody would understand it. They put this mission at great risk. They put that man at great risk, and they put the hundreds of people that went in looking for him, because everyone now knows that we're going in.
Where's the whole joint? Say evaded cash for fire.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Probably was scared.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I know before I start, I know
he had to been scared. 48 hours he had to evade capture. Hold on,
Many
y'all.
of you want
Let's find-
specific details in these.
Let's find a whole joint. They're giving us clips and shit. There you go, right here. Yeah, but one of them was hurt real bad. What he said from what he said. Oh yeah, man. I'm just saying, yo. I can see if this benefited the United States. Like this shit's not benefiting us. He keeps sending these motherfucking threats over there to Iran, man. They not paying that shit no mind. Let me see something. I think I got a video of somebody over there in Iran talking. I don't know who he is. Let Trump tell it we killed everybody. Let Trump tell it ain't nobody over there to talk to. Shit. But somebody said something. I'm gonna end up be doing this dumb shit. Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Did I save it? I'm gonna say save it. Yeah, I ain't save it. All right. What you call it? Poopero. That's where you from? I wouldn't serve, man. If I was in the fight, man, if they tried to send me on one of my fucking missions, I'd be like, man, fuck no. I'm not going. I ain't doing that shit, man. Put my life at risk for another country. That's insane, man. I can't believe. My internet's moving real slow for some reason. Hold on, y'all. What?
To do something they were trained to do in order to evade capture. They want to always go as far away from the site of the shoot down. You want to go as far away because they all head right to that site. You want to be as...
We got all of that. Trying to pick up where we left off at. For some reason, my internet just decided to start moving slow out of nowhere.
Small, unbelievably powerful, but
All right, we heard that.
like we came out.
All right,
God
here we
was watching us. I tell you. Well, it was the Easter, striking more than 13,000 targets. The F-15 we lost last week was
go. All right,
the
here we go.
to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for us last week.
All right, here we
Was
go.
the first manned aircraft downed by the enemy in this entire operation with thousands and thousands of flights. He got lucky. It was a lucky hit. You know, eventually you get lucky. But we got lucky too because we got both of them back. But it's a record that is unparalleled in the history of military air operations. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's such an honor to be involved with it. We were up late at night, and then we were waiting for those contingent planes to come in, and we said, come on, let's go, get in, because they're waiting out on this farm without a runway, with wet, crummy soil, sand, mostly sand, wet sand, and it eats planes alive. And we're waiting, and we're saying, I hope that one can land and take off. And they came in like magic, boom, 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 one after another. It was like genius. So impressed by that. Because we were a little concerned. We said, boy, if they don't get in and get up fast, we're sitting in them. And that's called Iran Prime, right, General? That's where the whole bet is. And here we are sitting there waiting for a plane. But they came in so fast and so hard, and these guys knew exactly what to do. Let's go, come on, get in, let's go. Pwah. They came one right after another, not at the same time. They don't want to come at the same time. They had to come right after each other. They didn't have any room. There was barely any room to land. Tiny little patch of very wet earth and sand. So I'm so proud of the people that I have standing up here with me, and many others that worked. I mean, so many. Steve Witkoff's over here. He's doing fantastically. Jared Kushner. But the people that are here, the job they did is amazing. And I think I'm going to introduce the head of the CIA, and he is a man he's central casting, okay? If we cast a movie, he's going to play the head of the CIA. He's one of the few. John Ratcliffe, he did a phenomenal job that night. He did something that I don't know if you want to talk about it. If you want, you can. I'm not sure you're supposed to. I'm not going to talk about it. But the CIA was very responsible for finding this little speck. It's like they used an expression on one of the shows. A general was talking about, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, finding this pilot. And the CIA was unbelievable. And you may, if you can, you'll talk. It might be classified, in which case I'd have to put him in jail if he talks about it. And I don't want to put him in jail. He doesn't deserve that. So, John, do you want to say a few words? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a privilege to be here with you today to share what we can about this exceptional mission and to recognize the ingenuity and bravery of those who executed it, as well as the leadership and resolve of the president who ordered it. One thing that has been clear to me in this role is that the flawless military operations that the Department of War is known for are hostage to flawless intelligence. We saw that in the skies over Iran in Operation Midnight Hammer last summer. We witnessed it in Venezuela during Operation Absolute Resolve. We've seen it against the cartels in the Western Hemisphere, and we're seeing it every day in Operation Epic Fury, including this mission to rescue an aviator buried deep behind enemy lines. Because it is the unique tradition of the U.S. Armed Forces that we leave no man or woman behind, this was a no-fail mission. That was the spirit in which the president put us to work, and we were determined not to let him down or our airmen down. As an agency, the CIA possesses unique capabilities that only the president can deploy. Some of these capabilities fall under covert action authorities. And because covert means exactly that, I'm not going to be able to tell you everything that you want to know. At the president's direction, we deployed both human assets and exquisite technologies that no other intelligence service in the world possesses. to a daunting challenge comparable to hunting for a single grain of sand in the middle of a desert. This was also a race against the clock, as it was critical that we locate the downed aviator as quickly as possible, while at the same time keeping our enemies misdirected. For that reason, in addition to the human and technical assets deployed by the President to find our airman, CIA executed a deception campaign to confuse the Iranians who were desperately hunting for our airmen. On Saturday morning, we achieved our primary objective by finding and providing confirmation that one of America's best and bravest was alive and concealed in a mountain crevice, still invisible to the enemy, but not to the CIA. That confirmation was relayed by Secretary Hegseth to the President, and the operation quickly moved to the execution phase. Following the successful exfiltration on Saturday night, our intelligence reflects that the Iranians were embarrassed and ultimately humiliated by the success of this audacious rescue mission. When the President asked me to lead the CIA, he made it clear: get back to basics, no politics, no agendas, tackle the hardest problems, and execute the toughest missions. This President is about results. And now, that's what his CIA is about too. The professionals at the agency and at the Department of War deserve immense credit for their flawless execution during this daring mission. Their skill, creativity, and courage are unmatched on the battlefield wherever they step. But none of that matters, and all of that is wasted without a president with the political courage to put them into action. Mr. President, I've had the privilege of seeing you act with political courage in the best interest of the United States up close on a daily basis, and I'm grateful that this successful mission has given the American people a window into that as well. The Secretary and Chairman will tell you that our service members' confidence is boosted by a Commander-in-Chief who has their back the same way they have yours. And I know that the confidence of CIA's officers is boosted by the knowledge that their work is informing a president who's not afraid to make the hardest decisions when the stakes are highest. And to the American people, your confidence should be boosted by knowing that the security of the nation is in the hands of a president who's willing to take on problems that have confounded both sides of the political aisle for nearly half a century. It is an honor to serve under a leader who just proved that you can believe him when he says, no matter what, we will leave no one behind. We will come for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, John, thank you for the collaboration of the CIA as well. Incredible and ongoing partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Americans, and especially the brave warriors in our armed forces, over this Easter weekend, the United States military has once again proved why we possess the greatest fighting force the world has ever known. In two extraordinary combat search and rescue operations deep inside enemy territory in Iran, our warriors executed missions of breathtaking skill, courage, and precision. When our warriors are unleashed, as this president has allowed them to be, they are unstoppable. When American airmen were down behind enemy lines, our forces and our president did not hesitate. Special operators supported by elite air crews and intelligence professionals moved swiftly and decisively into treacherous mountain terrain under the constant threat of Iranian forces closing in. Ultimately, it was an impotent Iranian threat. And today, as the CIA director mentioned, Iran's military, and we know this, is embarrassed and humiliated, and they should be. Now, these are not routine operations. They were high-risk, high-stakes missions conducted in the heart of enemy territory. This was not just barely into Iran. This was deep into Iran, involving coordinated strikes to suppress threats, deception tactics to protect our teams, and full synchronization across air, ground, and special operations. The Iranians are still asking themselves right now, how did the Americans do this? One downed airman evaded capture for more than a day, scaling rugged ridges while hunted by the enemy. When he was finally able to activate his emergency transponder, his first message was simple, and it was powerful. He sent a message, God is good. In that moment of isolation and danger, his faith and fighting spirit shone through. You see, shot down on a Friday, Good Friday, hidden in a cave, a crevice, all of Saturday, and rescued on Sunday.
Yeah, I'd have quit. Once they rescued me, I'd have resigned. Man, I'm out of here. You niggas is tripping. I damn near lost my life for a whole nother fucking country. I'm resigning. I'm done. Give me my Purple Heart on the way out the door.
Flown out of Iran as the sun was rising on Easter Sunday. A pilot reborn, all home and accounted for, a nation rejoicing. God is good. Despite incoming fire and unforgiving conditions, our troops brought every American home. No American lives were lost. We leave no man behind, and that is not luck. It's the result of unmatched training, superior technology, an unbreakable warrior ethos, and sheer American grit. Our special operators, pilots, and support crews performed with near perfection under fire, and they were lethal. Just ask any Iranian soldier who dared attempt to get anywhere near that pilot before or
That's
during
another thing
that.
too, Patriot. Yeah, we lost airplanes and shit. We're putting too much on the line for nothing. What are we getting in return for this? We losing aircrafts and shit. We exposing our weaponry, our technology for fucking what, man?
Mission, death from above. Our troops turned a potential tragedy into a resounding demonstration of American resolve and capability.
Right,
That's
all
what
we getting.
excellence
That's all we
in
getting is high
uniform
price
looks
gas.
like. But make no mistake about it. None of this would have been possible without the courageous leadership and ironclad determination of President Donald J.
Come on,
Trump.
Yo, I'm starting to think. Yo, hold up real quick. Y'all starting to think like they have to praise him at some point in time in every person's speech. You gotta praise Donald Trump. Like, I think it's mandatory. If he didn't say that in his speech, the guy next to him would have been speaking. Look, we'd have been hearing from him instead. Like, yo, you gotta praise Trump in every speech, y'all. Yo, we shouldn't even be there. First and foremost, we shouldn't even be there, man. It shouldn't be no courageous and dedication, man, whatever he just said. It shouldn't be none of that, because we shouldn't be there.
The moment our airmen went down, President Trump made it clear we will leave no one behind. The first mission, the first of two, was an audacious daylight
I'm always
thunder
making
run
funny.
right up the middle. It was authorized in less than 2 hours from that pilot going down when we knew where he was. And it was authorized in the middle of the night, because anybody that's worked for this man knows he's up in the middle of the night. Authorized immediately, without hesitation.
Oh yeah, they definitely gonna do that.
The second mission.
I told y'all. I told everybody that found me a couple months ago that Trump gonna get a third term. Because if it's war, you can't transfer power.
Where that pilot was, John was certainly helpful in that. Also executed immediately. You know, I looked up at my screen when the final mission was complete inside our SCIF, our secure facility. And we have a running VTC, a running coordination cell. And the top of it read 45 minutes and 45 hours
they all ran
and
by
56
Israel.
minutes. For 45 hours and 56 minutes, we held that call open for coordination. From the moment our pilots went down, our mission was unblinking. The call never dropped, the meeting never stopped, the planning never ceased. The president demanded rapid, decisive action. He backed our military with the full weight of his resolve, refusing to let enemy propaganda or tactical setbacks deter us. His leadership ensured that every lethal and non-lethal resource was brought to bear, that our forces had the authorities and the support they needed to succeed. When the president says he has the backs of our warfighters, he means it. And it means a great deal, and it's a big difference on the battlefield. President Trump understands that peace through strength is not a slogan. It is a doctrine that saves American lives. His unwavering commitment to rebuilding our military and restoring the warrior spirit has paid dividends in missions just like this one. Under his command, America projects power with confidence and brings our people home with victory. And that continues today, by the way. Per the president's direction, today will be the largest volume of strikes since day one of this operation. Tomorrow, even more than today. And then Iran has a choice. Choose wisely, because this president does not play around.
Yo, what if we just destroy Iran? Yo, that'd be fucked up, yo. Yo, what if we just, because that's what he's talking about doing, y'all. Just bombs away on Iran. That pose no direct threat to us at all. Yo, that is crazy, man. Just think about that. Because he's talking about a total depletion of Iran if they don't open up the strait. Yo, that is crazy. It just lets you know how much our government officials are controlled, man.
You can ask Soleimani. You can ask Maduro. You can ask Khomeini. To those heroes who planned and executed these rescues, your nation stands in awe. I stand in awe. The chairman stands in awe. We all stand in awe of your professionalism and bravery. We serve for you. You embody the very best of America. To the rescued airmen and their families, welcome home. Your courage and endurance, the quiet declaration of faith amid the storm, inspires us all. God is good every day. And to our adversaries watching from Tehran, let this be a clear message. The United States military will go anywhere, at any time, to protect our own and complete the mission. We execute with precision. We control the skies. You see, we flew for 7 hours in daylight over Iran to get the first pilot.
For real?
And we flew 7 hours in the middle of the night to get the second. And Iran did nothing about it.
What the fuck you talking
We
about?
fight with honor.
Yo, you just talked about how many bullets the fucking, like, they seem like they tried very hard to stop it. We lost planes. Helicopters took fucking 1,000 bullets based off of their depiction of it. Man, them people, through the grace of God, they're alive.
And under President Trump's leadership, we win. So God bless our troops. God bless President Trump. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Nah, Mark McFarland, we ain't supposed to be here, bro. We ain't supposed to be here, man. Yo, what is our benefit for this war? Yo, can somebody tell me, man, what are we benefiting from going to war with Iran? Like, are we going to war with a country who is willing to die about this shit? Yo, our soldiers, as good as they are, as good as our military is, yo, they want to go home to their families, man. I would probably say 90%. If we might got 10% that's willing to die for all this shit. But I think 90% trying to go home, man. You know, they want successful operations where, you know, no lives are lost. Iran, over there in the Middle East, yo, they willing to die. That's part of their religion. You gotta die for this shit. That's the only way to see what the promised land. You can't win against those type of people, man. It's no winning.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. A note before I start, I know many of you want
Probably is 5%.
specific details in these briefings. We will share what we can, but I will retain what I must in the event that we have to go do this again sometime. And I cannot stress the importance, as the President said, around operational security. The
Now,
Secretary
look,
and I will do a more detailed briefing tomorrow.
he probably was the best president suitable for this, because this was gonna happen regardless. Like, if this is how we was gonna move, I would rather him than Kamala. I can say that. But overall, we ain't got no business being there.
Tomorrow morning, and we look forward to sharing the details that we can. On Thursday, 2 April at 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:40 in the morning, local Iran time, the Joint Personnel Recovery Center, which handles the Central Command area of responsibility, declared an isolated personnel recovery event for a U.S. Air Force F-15E Strike Eagle, call sign Dude 44, which
Right.
was down
I
in
just started
hostile
getting used to the
Iranian
normal prices.
territory. The pilot and weapons system officer had both safely ejected and were isolated behind enemy lines. Following confirmation of active rescue beacons and on the direction of the Secretary and by order of the President, a rescue operation was launched with the stated purpose of bringing both Americans home safely. As the Secretary said several hours later on the morning, after positively locating the front seater, call sign Dude 44 Alpha, and aware of an aggressive ongoing search by the enemy, a U.S. Central Command plan was approved by the Secretary and the President. Shortly thereafter, a U.S. Air Force Combat Search and Rescue Task Force, comprised of A-10 Warthogs in their Sandy role, and I'll describe what that is in a minute, HC-130 Combat King 2s, HH-60 Jolly Green 2 helicopters, and Air Force Special Warfare Airmen, a package comprised of combat rescue officers and pararescueman operators, audaciously penetrated enemy territory in broad daylight to find, fix, and recover Dude 44 Alpha from behind enemy lines. This was an incredibly dangerous mission.
I see.
An incredibly dangerous undertaking.
Sound like it.
But a filled promise made to every American warfighter that you will not be left behind. We will always come find you, and we will always bring you home. Over the next hours, the Search and Rescue Task Force crossed the beach, entered into Iranian airspace, protected by a fighter strike package, and moved into the objective area, all under fire. En route, as some of you have seen on social media, the helicopters took gas off the C-130s and pressed onward and forward up into the objective area. While this was ongoing, and out in front of them, the Sandy flight of A-10s and other remotely piloted aircraft, drones, and other tactical aircraft were violently suppressing and engaging the enemy in a close-in gunfight to keep them away from the front seater and allow the pickup force to get into the objective area. During this engagement, one of the Sandy aircraft, the one primarily responsible for communicating with the downed pilot, was hit by enemy fire. This pilot continued to fight, continued the mission, and then upon exit, flew his aircraft into another country and determined that the airplane was not landable. This was one of our A-10 Sandy.
Yo, you see how he cracked? Yo, that don't sound like it went that way. It sounded like his ass retreated and motherfucking ejected himself out the plane. Like, listen to how he characterized that. Like, he made that shit sound real slick. I don't think it necessarily went that way. Am I tripping out? Listen to him.
An Air Force Special Warfare Airmen, a package comprised of combat rescue officers and pararescueman operators, audaciously penetrated enemy territory in broad daylight to find, fix, and
listen to when he said that this other pilot had to go into another country. He said the plane wasn't deemed safe to land, which means he ejected himself from it, which means he was under heavy fire and had to get the fuck out of Dodge. You ain't get that? That's not what you heard? Let's do it again.
Cover Dude 44 Alpha from behind enemy lines. This was an incredibly dangerous mission,
All right, listen
an
to him.
incredibly dangerous undertaking, but a filled promise made to every American warfighter that you will not be left behind. We will always come find you, and we will always bring you home. Over the next hours, the search and
Yeah, that's what it
rescue
sounds like,
task force
Patriot.
crossed the
Thank you,
beach.
Patriot. I'm glad somebody. It sounds like he got shot down, man. That's what it sounds like. It don't sound like he had he flew to another country and ejected himself. Nah, it sounds like he got shot the fuck down.
Entered into Iranian
And through the
airspace,
grace of God, he alive.
protected by a fighter strike package, and moved into the objective area, all under fire. En route, as some of you have seen on social media, the helicopters took gas off the C-130s and pressed onward and forward up into the objective area. While this was ongoing, and out in front of them, the Sandy flight of A-10s and other remotely piloted aircraft, drones, and other tactical aircraft were violently suppressing and engaging the enemy in a close-in gunfight to keep them away from the front seater.
I'm saying the way he explained it. He didn't explain it. You had to read between the lines to get what really happened. He didn't explain it in a way that, you know, he didn't characterize it the right way. He made it seem like, you know, it was just, you know, good piloting. No, that man probably was scared to death. He get the fuck out of there and jumped out that bitch.
The objective area, all under fire. En route, as some of you have seen on social media, the helicopters took gas off the C-130s and pressed onward and forward up into the objective area. While this was ongoing, and out in front of them, the Sandy flight of A-10s and other remotely piloted aircraft, drones, and other tactical aircraft were violently suppressing and engaging the enemy in a close-in gunfight to keep them away from the front seater and allow the pickup force to get into the objective area. During this engagement, one of the Sandy aircraft, the one primarily responsible for communicating with the downed pilot, was hit by enemy fire. This pilot continued to fight, continued the mission, and then upon exit, flew his aircraft into another country and determined that the airplane was not landable. This was one of our A-10 Sandy aircraft. The pilot then made the decision to eject over friendly territory and was quickly and safely recovered and is doing fine. After picking up Dude 44 Alpha, the HH-60 Jolly Green fight was engaged by every single person in Iran who had a small arms weapon. And one of the aircraft, the trailing aircraft, took several hits. The crew sustained minor injury, and they are going to be fine. A note for those of you that do not know what a Sandy does.
We definitely don't
Named
know.
after the flight call sign that did this very mission in Vietnam, flying A-1 Sky Raiders and A-7 Corsairs. A Sandy has one mission: get to the survivor, bring the rescue force forward, and put themselves between that survivor on the ground.
Yeah, what's the name of that plane again? A Sandy what? What's the name of that plane, y'all? I want to look that up, see what it looked like. What do you call it? A Sandy what? It's a Sandy airplane. A1 Sky Raider. Is that what it is? I don't want to go back again because I'll be going back too far. Man, who knows what a minor injury? He says a helicopter. You're right. You're right. Who? You know, how do they determine if the injury is minor or not? He could have lost a leg.
They
or
are
something.
committed to this.
This
is what they live for, and this is what they've trained for over many years. The A-10 force and the rescue force did a fantastic job rescuing Dude 44 Alpha. He was recovered Friday afternoon. As I said, and the nation needs to know this, this was an incredibly brave and courageous mission, and a testament to the courage, skill, and tenacity of the joint force and our leaders. And especially a daylight option, having the guts to try, means so much to so many. Meanwhile, the backseater, as the President and the Secretary have said, had continued to work and survive. Through the hours of daylight, Dude 44 Bravo, the backseater, evaded. Using every means available, the efforts of the United States military, the Central Intelligence Agency, and others were attempting to find and locate with precision Dude 44 Bravo, the backseater. A note on the backseater and the front seater.
Hold on, y'all. So, hold on. We went in for a recovery mission, and then we end up having to somebody else got shot out the sky, and we had to recover them too. Is that what happened? I just want to make sure we're on the same. Is that what he just said happened?
And a testament to the courage, skill, and tenacity of the joint force and our leaders. And especially a daylight option, having the guts to try, means so much to so many. Meanwhile, the backseater, as the President and the Secretary have said, had continued to work and survive. Through the hours of daylight, Dude 44 Bravo, the backseater, evaded. Using every means available, the efforts of the United States military, the Central Intelligence Agency, and others were attempting to find and locate with precision Dude 44 Bravo, the backseater.
Yeah, we are.
A note on the backseater and the front seater. The single most important contributor to a successful rescue operation is the spirit of...
No, they was in the same plane. One pilot was sitting in the front. They rescued him first, then they came back for the pilot that was sitting in the back.
Attack inside the heart of that downed aviator.
Gotcha.
Their will to survive,
weapon operator.
their will to evade, their will to recover is everything. In this case, the backseater's absolute commitment to surviving made much of our efforts possible.
See, Matt.
On Saturday, 4 April, after establishing positive communications with the backseater, we learned, as the President said, that he was injured and actively evading enemy forces. And thanks to our interagency partners, we were able to get eyes on his location and positively ID him. Throughout this entire time, the enemy force continued to search for 44 Bravo, and the joint force continued to strike them over and over and over again. Fighting off marginal weather in Iran and the enemy's search for a second time on Saturday, at the recommendation of the CENTCOM commander and at the approval of the Secretary and the President,
this was so dangerous that we couldn't even save both of them in one swipe, in one operation. We had to carry out 2 separate operations to save both these people. For what though? Like, this is heroic as a bitch, man. Salute to all the ones that participated. But my thing is, for what? It's not benefiting us, man. Like, if we sacrificing so much for other people, it's crazy.
Rescue task force to recover Dude 44 Bravo. Again, this came to the President and the Secretary for approval, this time with a much larger force package based on the time that the enemy had to prepare to find 44 Bravo.
I mean, it is crazy that they couldn't find him for 2 days, the enemy. That is odd, but hey, I mean, I hope he was saved.
Again, this force was protected by A-10 Warthogs using the Sandy call sign. And this force had one single mission: do everything they can to bring an American home. This meant having a plan, being prepared to execute that plan, and, more importantly, being prepared for multiple, simultaneous contingencies. And because of this force's professionalism, grit, and determination, fight off 2 enemies at the same time. The enemy searching for 44 Bravo and contingencies, which anyone who has done these types of missions knows we run into every single time. The force fought off both of those enemies incredibly well. During the period of darkness on Saturday, and as the Secretary said, into Easter Sunday and into the daylight, the force fought its way in and rescued Dude 44 Bravo. They were protected overhead by an air
Nina, you ain't
armada,
buying it.
including tactical drones, strike aircraft, and others. The force fought through multiple simultaneous contingencies, something no other nation, no other military can do, and safely returned Dude 44 Bravo, the backseater, home, and all other Americans home as well. At midnight 12 local Eastern time, Easter Sunday, more than 50 hours after the start of this operation, the Joint Personnel Recovery Center declared Dude 44 Bravo, both the front and backseater, returned to friendly territory. The courage demonstrated by both the pilot and the weapons system officer while isolated and them invading the enemy cannot be overstated.
They said they
Their
blew them up.
grit
So you don't
and
believe? So
warfighting
picture,
tenacity.
you think they lying about blowing up our own? You don't think we blew up our own helicopters? You think that's a lie? Cause that's what Trump said. Who believes that we blew up our own helicopters?
Is a direct result of the absolute trust they have in our rescue forces, their training, and their will to survive and return. They always knew that we would be ordered to go get them, and they always knew that we would be coming to get them. These two operations reflect our nation's most sacred obligation to our military service members. We leave
They need to make this a movie in 15 years. I want to see this played out. You know, by the survivors, the survivors' account of what happened. I would love to see that in the movie.
One behind, bless you. It also perfectly captures the first truth of our special operations forces, that people are more important than hardware. That is the standard we live by, and the rescue forces that execute these missions operate under a clear motto: these things we do that others may live. Their actions were a direct embodiment of that commitment to others, and I could not be more proud of each and every one of them today. As the Secretary said to our enemies, this operation serves as a clear reminder of the capability and will of America's joint force. The United States of America will recover our warfighters anywhere in the world, under any conditions, when we want to. We will always bring overwhelming skill and firepower. To every member of the joint force, our interagency partners, the leadership at CENTCOM, and our leaders at the department and above, thank you. I'm proud of each and every one of you, and thankful to our deployed forces and their families. And lastly, and most importantly, to Dude 44, welcome home. Job well done. Thank you.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. And these two gentlemen have been, from day one, they've been perfecto. You know, I got to know General Kane in my first term because he was able to take out ISIS in 4 weeks instead of the 4-year projection
that was
given to me by other much lesser generals. And I said, you know,
it is strange they didn't show none of their pictures. That is odd. Like, these guys are heroes. We like, how you gonna praise them without showing them? They heroes, man.
Again, that's going to be the head of my Joint Chiefs of Staff. And we worked it that way, didn't we? It's amazing. He took out ISIS. We defeated ISIS in 4 weeks. I was told it would take 4 years. I flew to Iraq to find out with the greatest equipment in the world, why would it take 4 years? And he told me, sir, it won't. It'll take 4 weeks and you'll have time left over. And that's exactly what happened. So he's great. And Pete, all I can say is that he was treated very unfairly. And now those same people that treated him unfairly, that fought against him, they called me up saying, what a great choice he was. They said, well, what happened during his nomination? What happened to you? I'm telling you, people that were not for him, senators, friends of mine, sir, I don't think you're doing the right thing. Now they're calling me up. What a choice. These two guys are fantastic.
Call me what,
And
man?
John Ratcliffe was incredible. It was
Fucking
actually their
Netanyahu.
genius that called us from, he was 40 miles away. And he said, you know, we're seeing something moving up in the mountain. This is at night. And they kept the camera on him for 45 minutes. He wasn't moving. And they said, you know, probably wrong, but we're seeing something moving. This is a vast mountain. Vast. Thick. With bushes, trees. He said, we see something moving 40 miles away. It was the head of a human being, I'm telling you. It's moving. And then all of a sudden, 45 minutes later, he moved a lot. Stood up, and they said, we have him. And that was really the beginning of something incredible. We had an idea where he was, but not specifically. That's a big mountain. So I want to thank the CIA, too. I don't think they get enough credit for the great job they've done. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for this great opportunity. Country it has super army. You make a difference, Mr. President. Thank you for your greatest leadership.
I work for Israel.
I have two quick questions, Mr. President. What was your reaction when you learned that Kurdistan region had resumed exporting oil to the international market with your support as United States of America?
Well, I expected that. We've gotten along with the Kurds for a long time, so I expected that.
Another question, what would be your reaction if the Iranian people rise up against their regime during a ceasefire, Mr. President?
Well, they should do it, but again, the consequences are great. I mean, they were told, if you protest, you will be shot immediately. You saw what happened to the young wrestler. He was a great champion, by the way. He was a great wrestler, one of the top in the world. And he and his two friends were hung. And all they did was say a little bit about liberty. They wanted liberty, and they were violently executed. But the number is up to probably 45,000 people were killed. So, you know, when somebody stays in a house, when they know if they walk out of the house to protest, they'll be immediately shot and killed. And they issued that, you know, that was publicly issued. It's not a secret. That's why so many people say, oh, well, why are you doing this way? We can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. You know, we got regime change.
Stop with this shit, yo. Like, seriously, yo. Like, stop. Like, yo, every time I hear them mention something about Iran with a nuclear weapon, yo, they've been saying this shit for 30 years. Yo, does it take 30 years to make a nuclear weapon? Do anybody know? Like, yo, they don't, just stop, yo. Stop it, stop. Just come clean, man. I was pressured into this war. I would much rather him say that I was pressured into this war, man. Keep it real, man. Like, he so-called tries to keep it real about everything else. But he keep trying to sell people this idea or this lie that Iran was trying to get nuclear weapons. Like, it shouldn't take 30 years, man. I don't believe that. I don't think most people believe that.
Regime than before. We're dealing with different people. They're smarter. I think they're sharper and far less radical. We have regime change. But, we didn't do this for regime change. We did it for the fact, and my view was very simple. I saw somebody said, oh, he doesn't have a plan. I have the best plan of all, but I'm not going to tell you what my plan is. You know, they want me to say,
it ain't no plan.
Here's my plan. We're going to attack at 9:47 in the morning, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to... And if you don't do that, they say, I have a plan. These people know what the plan is. Everybody here knows what the plan is.
We don't know. We still try to figure out the plan.
It's very unfair to say, we don't, because I don't mind being insulted. I've been insulted for many years by the fake
American
news.
people
But
was
you
confused.
It's so bad for the people that are
the people that is funding this
great and just
is confused. What the fuck is the plan? What's the end goal? What's the main objective? And how does it benefit us?
And Ratcliffe, three unbelievable people. They have a plan. Every single thing has been thought out by all of us. But I can't reveal the plan to the media. So, but we're just thrilled by the success of this operation. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You've said Iranians would be mad if you stopped these attacks, but why would they want you to blow up their infrastructure, to cut off their power? Wouldn't that be punishing Iranians for the actions of the regime?
They would be willing to, and it's suffering. They would be willing to suffer that in order to have freedom. The Iranians have...
Yo, that was comical, man. Yo, listen to this again, y'all. Because sometimes you gotta make sure you gotta listen to it twice so motherfuckers hear exactly what was said. Sometimes you gotta do that.
And far less radical. We have regime change, but we didn't do this for regime change. We did it for the fact, and my view was very simple. I saw somebody said, "Oh, he doesn't have a plan. I have the best plan of all, but I'm not going to tell you what my plan is."
Listen to this
they
question.
Want me to say, "Here's my plan. We're going
Listen to this question and listen to his response.
to attack at 9:47 in the morning, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to." And if you don't do that, they say, "I have a plan." These people know what the plan is. Everybody here knows what the plan is, but it's very unfair to say we don't. Because I don't mind being
button,
insulted.
y'all.
I've been insulted for many years by the fake news, but you can't. It's so bad for people that are so pro. You just saw two great and John Ratcliffe, three unbelievable people. They have a plan. Every single thing has been thought out by all of us. But I can't reveal the plan to the media. So, but we're just thrilled by the success of this operation. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You've said Iranians would be mad if you stopped these attacks, but why would they want you to blow up their infrastructure, to cut off their power? Wouldn't that be punishing Iranians for the actions of the regime?
They would be willing to, and it's suffering. They would be willing to suffer that in order to have freedom. The Iranians have, and we've had numerous intercepts. Please keep bombing. Bombs that are dropping near their homes. Please keep bombing. Do it.
Fuck out of here, yo. Who's saying that? Can you bring one of the Iranians onto the press conference and let them tell us that? Please keep bombing next to our house. Please. I don't think too many saying that, man. I don't think you can grab 5,000 of them and they'll vouch.
And these are people that are living where the bombs are exploding. And when we leave and we're not hitting those areas, they're saying, please come back, come back, come back. These are the people. I don't know what they do. All I can tell you is they want freedom. They have lived in a world that you know nothing about. It's a violent, horrible world where if you protest, you are shot. Remember the great woman protests where they had 400,000, 500,000 women, and they were all enthused, and they were going to protest, and everybody said, oh, the regime's going to come to an end. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, 5, 6 different areas. A woman would go down right between the eyes. They had snipers. They had 5 snipers. That's all it took. And those 400,000 or 500,000 women said, oh, my God, what's that? Oh, look over there. What's that? A woman shot right between the eyes. And after 5 or 6 of them go down, then you start hearing the purr through the vast number of people.
The woman got shot between the eyes.
And then they said, oh, my God, who would do that? And they're incredible people. But they've lived so horribly. They've lived so horribly. You know, Iran was a great country if you go back 25 years ago or so. The Persian people, they're incredible, smart, brilliant, actually. And I know so many. I know coming from New York, originally, I know so many people from Iran. They're incredible people, incredible energy, and very, very brilliant people. But when you're standing in a group and protesting, and you have a woman, in the case of the woman, remember the Great Woman March, everybody was saying, oh, this is the end of the country. And then snipers selectively picked. Every single one was shot right between the eyes from a long distance. They were on top of buildings. Nobody even knew where they were, where they're coming from. This wasn't like a machine gun, which is also very bad. They've done that too. They did that recently. This was snipers sitting on the top of buildings, aiming and hitting women. And when they see people go down, and all of a sudden there's a riot in the reverse direction, and they never came out again. And a lot of the news doesn't talk about that. They talk about, oh, women's rights. You want to see women's rights?
Yo, is he trying to? What is he doing? Like, what the fuck? Yo, a lot of this is politician shit. A lot of them do that. Like, they get asked a question, then they just go on this long rant to where you just forgot the question. Like, how did we get here? Hold up, man. We gotta go back. I know he was talking about the citizens love bombs by their house. Is this his way of explaining it? It was a women's march for rights, and the Iranians were shooting them.
You're not going to see it there. It's amazing when I see some of the stupid people, like, AOC +3, all that group. They talk about, oh, freedom for Iran. They don't tell you the real facts. Women, men, gays. How about gays for Iran? They kill the gays. They throw them off buildings. So I wonder what's going on. I can only say this.
Those say, how about gays for
They
Iran?
want us to keep bombing, even if it jeopardizes, because their life is in much greater danger. They want freedom for Iran, but it's very hard for them to protest. I actually tell them, I said, don't go out. I fully understand. Nobody in this room would go out. I don't think there's any, because frankly, it's not a question of bravery. We're all brave, right? You're brave, I'm brave, we're all brave.
So basically, this is what I'm getting basically, y'all. He's saying that if innocent people die, they're doing it for the greater good of Iran. That's basically what he's saying. There's going to be some casualties, but the people, they're willing to die for this shit too. We willing to kill and they willing to die for the freedom of Iran.
Also intelligent. If
So
you
is
have
that the
people
case?
shooting at you, expert shots, with
Pedro?
the best rifles you can get, and hitting you right between the eyes every single time. And you're looking here, and you're seeing, and you're looking here. You're out of there. I don't care who it is. Please.
Mark Meredith, Fox News.
I know that.
Oh, thank you.
How would I know that? Go ahead.
America's watching. No,
Good job.
can we go back to the weekend? First off, was everyone on board with the operation, or were there people that were trying to talk you out of going through with the operation this weekend?
Not everybody was on board.
Somebody else within
No,
you?
there was military people, very professional, that preferred not doing it. These two were totally on board, which was very important. If they weren't, I would have had a little difficulty. But no, there were military people that said, you just don't do this. You don't go into the heart of a very powerful military. This is, hey, you have countries and countries. You have some countries where military is not their strong suit. This whole thing is militarized like nobody's ever seen before. Half the people are wearing uniforms. And we had people within the military. Usually it's not done. That's one of the reasons. I was surprised. Somebody said it's the only time it's ever been done. I said, that's not possible. But it is possible. Because you're going into hundreds of thousands of soldiers along the path. I mean, look at some of...
So he the only president that ever did this. He like Soldier Boy. He like the political Soldier Boy. The first that ever did everything. He's the only president that ever pulled something like this off, y'all. It's never been done before until now.
The helicopters, how they got hit. So, yeah, there were people within the military that said it's a wise... And don't forget, how many men did you send?
I would love to see a picture of them helicopters.
Approximately, for the operation.
I'd love to keep that a secret.
Okay, well, but I will tell you, the number, I'll keep it a secret, but it was hundreds. And hundreds of these people, that's pretty good. Is he central casting? But hundreds of people went into this journey.
For real.
Hundreds of people could have been killed. Forget about the equipment. A lot of equipment. Nobody cares. Hundreds of people could have been killed. So we had people that were within the military that said this is not a wise, and I understood that, but I decided to do it.
Was there a point that that you were thinking there's too much on the line, and somebody was saying maybe we abort this now and wait? I mean, given the resource, like the general said, it seemed like there was so much on the line here. You must have been thinking, well, this could have completely changed.
So the first one, which was in many ways as dangerous as the second, I guess it gets, because we're flying over daylight. We're the best at the world at night. We have goggles that nobody. We have goggles. I've tried them. They're unbelievable. I see better with the goggles at night than I see without them during daylight. I mean, daylight today, we have a beautiful day. You see just as well with goggles. In many ways, it's enhanced. So we have the best in the world. So it's much safer for us to do it at night, whereas other people, no other country has that capability. They don't have that particular piece of equipment like we do. But when I was told flying and in daylight, I think we flew 7 hours over Iran, and that's a long time, over unbelievably hostile territory where they have nothing but weapons. We took out their anti-aircraft, which is great. We took out their radar, which is great. We took out a lot, but they still have, what hit this one was a handheld shoulder missile, heat-seeking missile. So it's not like, they're totally whatever. And they had probably a little luck, because you got to get lucky. But they shot it, and it got sucked in right by the engine. But these guys were out of there. They were great. Their timing was great. But no, I was told that this is a very dangerous mission. I understand. They didn't say it's a foolish mission. They said, we're going to be sacrificing hundreds of people do this. You have tankers that are flying over this area so that because the flight was so long, they had to refuel. It's a very dangerous mission. I just felt it was worth it. If you would have told me that we would have been successful, gotten both, and nobody was even essentially injured, I would have said that would be impossible. Yeah, President.
President, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Given that you are now dealing, you say, with a more reasonable, less extreme leadership in Iran, what does that mean for the protesters, for the human rights movement in that country after this conflict? What's your expectation?
If they
He did a no man. He did say shit was gonna be over 4 days ago. He definitely said that.
assume control, if we do something and they assume control, I think it's very positive, a big step. I don't think you'd see the radicalization that you have seen in the last. Look what happened. I mean, women are being executed because they're not properly clothed, they say. They're not properly clothed, and they execute the women. They shoot them right on the street. No, you have a much different group of people. Now, I'm not saying we are dealing with them. Essentially, they have till 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Eastern time. But we are dealing with them. I think it's going well. Mr. Witkoff is here, and JD's involved in the dealing.
Yeah, I don't know
Witkoff
why he think these threats. They haven't responded to any of these threats yet. Like, they don't, like, he... It's not funny because it's sad and people is losing their lives. But they don't give a fuck about these threats, buddy. At all. With all the threats that Donald Trump then directed toward Iran, they haven't backed down yet. You might as well stop that shit.
Right here, and I think it's going fine, but we'll have to see. You have to understand, we've been dealing with these people for 47 years. I'm standing here with a much more powerful Iran as of a month ago, not anymore. Right now, they are
Yeah, I didn't
decapitated.
get to that part yet.
But I'm standing here a month
Let me
ago
laugh
with
for
a
a minute. Let
much
me get to
more powerful Iran than it was at any point during 47 years. This should have been handled by
I told you, straight cash.
a lot of
Remember he was calling Kim Jong-un Rocket Man? Donald Trump is Rocket Man now. He's Rocket Man, not Kim Jong-un.
presidents. And those presidents are saying now, every one of them to their friends, we should have done this a long time ago. So it's not something I like doing. It's very dangerous, and we're getting them at the height of their strength. If I didn't terminate the Barack Hussein Obama Iran nuclear deal, they would have had don't forget, that was a path to a nuclear weapon. Remember this. He chose Iran over Israel, pure and simple. How Israel can vote for a Democrat is, if you're Jewish in New York City or any place else in this country, and how you can vote for a Democrat is unbelievable, because he chose Iran, a very hostile Iran. Remember when he filled up a 757 with cash, billions of dollars of cash? And he sent it over to them.
Man,
Then they
F me.
gave them tens of billions of dollars. He chose Iran over Israel and really the Arab world, if you look, because, you know, the other, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, I mean, you take a look. I mean, I can add Kuwait and I can add Bahrain, and you can add others. He chose such an unlikely candidate. Nobody could believe it. Frankly, if you're going to choose between Iraq and Iran, he should have befriended Iraq. He went in the exact opposite direction of all thinking, and he made a terrible mistake. But that was a road to a nuclear weapon. And when I terminated that, everyone said, oh, he terminated it. It was one of the best things we ever did because he had a road to a nuclear weapon. And it was a very short-term deal. You know, countries don't do 10-year deals. Countries do hundreds of years. You don't do a 10-year deal. For a country, this isn't, you're a landlord, you're renting a store on a certain street, and you give somebody a 5-year or 10-year lease. This is a country. It was a short-term deal. It was ready to expire. I terminated it before it expired. It took a lot of heat, and it was one of the best things I ever did because he would have had a nuclear weapon. Then he would have had another nuclear weapon, had those beautiful B-2 bombers not gone in 8 months ago, and obliterated that site. And by the way, the word is obliteration. CNN said, well, maybe it wasn't complete. It was so complete that they still haven't been able to get it. It was obliteration. But if we didn't hit them, that was a courageous decision, too, because we had all those planes flying in at night with very little cover, unbelievable stealth planes, and they were able to do their job. If we didn't do that, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon at a high level, either one of those two instances. And if they did, in my opinion, I told this to Bibi Netanyahu yesterday, Israel would have been extinguished. Large portions of the Middle East would have been extinguished, whether it's Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, or others. And you saw that with thousands of missiles raining down upon them. They didn't think they were going to be hit. They thought they'd be watching us fight. And all of a sudden, UAE got hit by 1,500 missiles. He would have taken them out also. And they were powerful.
Yeah, 1,500
If I didn't come along and terminate the Obama deal, which was terrible, the Iran nuclear deal was a road to a nuclear weapon, a big one, unlimited, legally. Even much thought it was so easy. I terminated that, and then the B-2 bombers. And I did one other thing. I had killed Qasem Soleimani, who was an evil genius. And the reason I did it, I heard he was going to knock out 5 of our military bases. And had he lived, I believe we would be fighting perhaps a different Iran right now, because he's never been replaced, you know. And I did one other, but this one was not picked up. Osama bin Laden. If you read my book, I said you got to take him out 1 year before the World Trade Center came down. So I wish you'd read the book. But you, as a president,
books and shit. Give it away for free.
To be a good president, I believe you have to have good instincts, and a lot of this is instinct. Yeah, please.
Thank you so much for taking my question, Mr. President. Last week you suggested that Europe should take the lead on reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Has circumstances changed now that you're issuing a direct 48-hour ultimatum? And secondly, would a new ceasefire include Israel, or would it just be between Iran
I
and
can't
the
talk about
US?
ceasefire.
That's why.
But I can tell you that we have.
Why you can't talk about ceasefire? Since when has he not been able to talk about ceasefire? He must got run that past BB. I can't talk about ceasefire until I talk to my man over there across the pond. I ain't never heard him say that before.
A active, willing participant on the other side. They would like to be able to make a deal. I can't say any more than that.
That's why he picked it. He picked it because he was pregnant.
You've listed the goals. Excuse me.
Please, go ahead.
You've listed the goals.
Who you with?
My name is Dia Kurda. I'm with the largest Kurdish media outlet, Ruda Media Network. It's based in Iran. Mr. President, you said before that you don't want the Kurdish forces to enter Iran and disarm it. Do you still want them to stay away? Or what role do you expect
Hit the
them
like
to
button,
play?
y'all. Hit the like button. Get to 100 likes.
I'd rather have them stay away because I think they bring with them some problems and some difficulties. And I don't think they bring death. I mean, to themselves. But I'd rather have them stay away. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the question. Deliberate attacks on civilian infrastructure violate the Geneva Conventions and international law.
Who are you with?
I'm with the New York Times. Zolan from the New York Times.
They don't like
Are
that.
you
They're failing.
Are you
see
concerned?
circulation way down at the
They don't like that. He makes sure. If you notice, every time somebody asks him a question, he got to find out who you with. Who you with?
Are you concerned that your threat to bomb power plants and bridges amount to
No,
war
not at
crimes?
all. No. I hope I don't have to do it. But again, I just said 47 years they've been negotiating with these people. They're great negotiators,
Why would that
and
act not
because
violate
they're not
international
going to have a nuclear weapon. And if somebody that takes
See,
my
bombing
place
bridges.
someday is weak and ineffective, which possibly that will happen because we had numerous presidents that were weak, ineffective, and afraid of Iran. We're never going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And if you think it's okay for people that are sick of mind, that are tough, smart, and sick, really sick, from a policy standpoint, from a any which way you want to say, mentally, these are disturbed.
He coming after their religion. He really want to say from a religious standpoint. But that'll offend so many other people.
People, if you think I'm going to allow them, and powerful and rich, to have a nuclear weapon, you can tell your friends at the New York Times, not going to happen.
It means violating international law.
Quiet. You no longer have credibility at the New York Times because the New York Times said, oh, Trump won't win the election and I won in a landslide. I won every swing state. New York Times said, oh, Trump won't win the election. New York Times has no credibility. The credibility they have is it used to be all the news that's fit to print. The old gray lady, it was great, but they're running on past fumes and you can't keep doing that. You have to be able to give the correct news. And people like you, who I know, are fake. You're fake. Go ahead, please.
Your messaging on the war has moved from the war is coming to an end to war going to be bombing Iran to the Stone Ages. And we've heard a range of those kind of messages. So which is it? Are you winding this down? Or are you escalating?
I can't tell you. I don't know. I can't tell you. It depends what they do. This is a critical period. They have a period of, till tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I gave them an extension. They asked for an extension of 7 days.
Offset and TJ got shot. So I'm gonna get back to this. Let me see what's going on in the hip hop realm real quick. We're gonna get back to that because I want y'all to see Jesse Ventura and what he said about Donald Trump and this whole war.
Gun violence here in the casino in Hard Rock.
And somebody locked up.
He's still going. He's still mad.
They both got shot?
They got this guy detained.
They was beefing over money, right?
Shot a guy. The guy they shot. Oh my god. Holy, taser? They just
Yeah, the airport. Casino. Yo, by the time we finish covering Trump, there should be some more information out on that. We'll get back to that. We probably be live about 12 anyway. Still got 2 hours. That's crazy.
Days, right? I said, Steve, give them
They was
10
beefing
days.
a while ago.
10 days is up actually today, so I gave him 11, I guess, indirectly. I thought it was inappropriate the day after Easter. I want to be a nice person. They have till tomorrow. Now we'll see what happens. I can tell you they're negotiating, we think, in good faith. We're going to find out. We're getting the help of some incredible countries that want this to be ended because it affects them also. A lot of people are affected by this, but we're giving them till tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and after that, they're going to have no bridges, they're going to have no power plants. Stone Ages, yeah. Stone Ages. CNN fake.
Are you willing to make a deal that does not include reopening the Strait of Hormuz, or is that now a top priority?
I would say it's a very big priority because, see, that's one thing that's a little different than other things. We can bomb
I was thinking about it too,
we
Queen.
can knock them out for a loop. But to close the strait, all you need is one terrorist that somehow has a truck loaded with, because you can carry them in trucks, large trucks, a water mine, drop them in the water, and now you tell people that own ships that cost $1 billion to don't worry about the mine. You can do that even just by saying we put mines in the water. So it's not like the rest. We can knock out their military. We already have. We've knocked out their Navy. We've knocked out their Air Force completely. We've knocked out 158 ships in 3 days. We've knocked out even their mine droppers. They don't have any mine droppers anymore, but they put them on other boats, and they could drop them. I'm not even sure they have any mines there, by the way. I'm not sure. I'm personally.
TJ got shot too.
They say there might be 8. I don't know. I think there might be none, because they're very good bullshit artists. That's why for 47 years they've been bullshitting other presidents, and they haven't done the job. And people are living in hell. You live in that country, they're living in hell. No, I think that 47 years of this stuff is long enough. They're at the weakest point they've ever been. They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft weaponry, they have no radar, they have no communication. In fact, the biggest problem we have in our negotiation is that they can't communicate. I said to Steve, what are they saying? Sir, they can't communicate. They have no method of communication. So we're communicating like they used to communicate 2,000 years ago with children, bringing a note back and forth. They have no communication. But all I want to see is I want to have a safe world, and you're not going to have a safe world. Israel will be gone. The Middle East will be gone. And then they're coming for Europe. And I have to tell you, I'm very disappointed in NATO. Very. I think that NATO... I think it's a mark on NATO that will never disappear in my mind. You know, they're coming to see me on Wednesday. They're going to say, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. Now they all of a sudden want to send things, you know. But they said it loud and clear at the beginning when I spoke to UK of all. I would have said they would have been
We're gonna get
first
to
because they've been...
I want to show y'all. So look, are y'all familiar with Jesse Ventura beef with Donald Trump? Like, he has a serious issue with Trump. I don't know what it stems back from. But y'all gotta see this interview he did with the guy from the UK. Fuck is his name? What's the guy from the UK name, y'all, with the YouTube page? Oh man, my fucking internet's acting stupid. I gotta close some of this shit. Yeah, Piers Morgan. Did y'all see Jesse Ventura interview with Piers Morgan? If y'all didn't, y'all gotta see that shit. It is too funny. Hey, yo, he went in on Donald Trump. He went in on Trump. Hold on. I think he want to fight him. That's what it sounds like anyway.
It's the personal challenge. Send your own.
100 years has never done military service. Well, Barron, you can change that. Enlist in the United States military right now. Do something your father didn't have the courage to do. Do something your father didn't have the patriotism to do. I want to see a Trump in the military.
Okay, but do you think America was justified in joining Israel in the attack on Iran?
No. No.
Why not?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, he went crazy.
Because we started the war. I'm not for starting any war. We fired the first shot. Plain and simple. You want to put it in Rambo terms? We drew first blood.
Hold up. This is one of those interviews that instantly goes off the rails. Jesse Ventura didn't just criticize Donald Trump. He went full scorched earth, calling him out on war, courage, and even dragging his own family into the conversation. And trust me, it gets very personal. This debate is basically about whether the US was right to get involved in Iran, and Ventura flips the whole thing, arguing that if you're willing to send people to war, you should be willing to send your own family too.
Yo, he goes in on Trump, man.
You can already tell where this is going.
Yeah,
Before I break it all down and give my take, I want you to watch this all the way through.
Trump must have had sex with his girlfriend or wife or something. Like, I don't know what Trump did to him, but he is highly upset at him. Like, very, very upset.
Some of the moments in here,
I do agree, though.
You won't see them coming.
If you want to start a war, send your
Real
kids
quick,
first.
Where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. I'm curious. And if you want more breakdowns like this, hit subscribe, like the video, and let's get into it.
Well, Jesse Ventura is a former US Navy SEAL, a former professional wrestler, a former actor, and a former governor of Minnesota. We've had many memorable interviews over the years. I'm pleased to say he joins me again now. Jesse, how are you?
I'm doing good, Piers. It's been a long time for you and I. I tried to retire, but... well, I tried to retire, but unfortunately, they sent the Gestapo to my high school, and they hit it with chemical weapons, which are a war crime, and that brought me back out of retirement to stand up against the war criminal in the White House.
Wow. Well, that sounds suitably dramatic.
Well, that's the way it happened. I mean, I was retired. I hadn't watched the news since the last election. My son said, "You're way better, Dad. You're not tense anymore. Keep it up." And then lo and behold, these ICE characters, I call them the Gestapo, and I think I can do that. And let me get something straight right now, Piers, so people know where I'm coming from. My Uncle Emil fought in World War I. My parents both fought in World War II. My father had 6 bronze battle stars in Europe. My mother was a nurse in North Africa, which predated Normandy, fighting Rommel, the Desert Fox, the greatest German general. Both my parents were World War II veterans. My brother and I are both Vietnam veterans and member of the Navy UDT SEAL. We both did 2 tours to Southeast Asia. So everyone in my family is a war veteran. I wanted to get that out right now so it'll help with the things that I'm going to say to you in the moments to come.
So ICE agents came to your school, you said?
What's that?
You said the ICE agents came to your school.
Yeah, the ICE agents came to the school where I went to high school, chasing some guy down just like the Gestapo. And I heard people were offended calling them that. Really? I can tell you right now, if my parents would have been alive and they would have seen what happened in Minneapolis, they would have called it the Gestapo too. So they come to my school, they use tear gas and pepper spray at the school. Now here's a question I have, Piers. My Uncle Emil fought in World War I, and he was gassed. He came home, but his life was ruined. He could never do anything. What did they do? They outlawed it. Gas using chemical weapons became a war crime. Why is it that you can't use them on your enemy, but you're allowed to use them on your own people? That has always been, where is
that is a good point. I never knew that.
You know,
that is crazy that you can't use that gas in war, but police officers use them all the time. That is, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, y'all. That's crazy.
Using chemical weapons against our own people, which is in essence a war crime.
Well, I think I wouldn't describe the gas used by ICE agents as chemical weapons. I mean, that infers weapons of
It's
mass
tear
destruction.
gas. They're spraying people from 6 inches away right in their face. I can't use that in war. I wasn't allowed to carry tear gas or any type of chemical weapon in war. It's banned from war. It's considered a war crime. You can't use it against your enemy, but you can use it against your own people. Doesn't something ring wrong there for you, Piers?
Well, a lot rang wrong about what was going on in Minnesota, and I'm very glad that it has been resolved, at least for now. And I think
it
Donald
hasn't
Trump...
been resolved.
Well, no, not completely, but
nothing's been resolved.
No, I understand.
We have 2 dead people here.
Yeah,
People were killed by the Gestapo here.
Yeah, I understand, and those investigations are ongoing, but at least the ICE activity that was going on and the way it was being conducted has been removed from Minnesota, which is a good thing. And I thought what happened was appalling, and I said so at the time. Let me ask you about Iran and your view of this war.
Well, here's how I feel about it. There's a simple thing as a leader. And you know this, having been in the military. Trump wouldn't know it because he's a draft-dodging coward. But anyway, it's this. A war is justified
Trump
if you're
did dodge
willing
the
to
draft,
send your
though.
kids.
He gotta eat that.
Because how can you send somebody else's kids to a war if you won't send your own? So I'm calling right now for Barron Trump, Donald Trump's son. You know, after all, he's had 3 wives, he's had kids by each wife, and nobody's ever served in the military. To my knowledge, a Trump in the last 100 years has never done military service. Well, Barron, you can change that. Enlist in the United States military right now. Do something your father didn't have the courage to do. Do something your father didn't have the patriotism to do. I want to see a Trump in the military. Everybody in my family is served, so I think I can say that with all due confidence. Come on, Trumps. Don't just reap the benefits of this free world. Somebody put on the uniform, and that's you, Barron. And I heard the excuse that Barron might be too tall.
Yo, but I agree, though. Like, that should be a qualification. If you the president and you want to send troops to war, you got a son. Your son should be part of the motherfucking 1st Infantry. Straight up, though. 1st Infantry, you know what I mean? Front line.
David Robinson served on active duty. He was 7 feet tall before he ever went to the San Antonio Spurs basketball team. David Robinson went to the United States Navy Military Academy. He's one of my officers, not directly, but he would have been.
Okay, look, it's one argument that a Trump should serve. That's perfectly reasonable argument to make. A lot of people feel that way, but it doesn't change what's going on in Iran. What is your view of this war? Do you think it's a legitimate war? Many people think that the Iranian regime has been the instrument of terror through the Middle East.
I gotta get the Gucci first.
Of course they have been. Of course they have been, Piers. But wait a minute. Trump then calls you guys NATO cowards. Wait a minute. NATO is set up to protect. That means that if a NATO country is attacked, they will all join together to repel it. It doesn't go in reverse. It doesn't mean if one of the NATO countries starts a war that all the others have to join in. That ain't part of the deal.
I can agree with that.
The deal is protection, not aggression. And we started this war, and then he's calling you guys a bunch of cowards because you won't come in and help him. Well, why didn't he talk to you beforehand? And second of all, that isn't what the mission is. The mission is to protect the countries if they're attacked, not to go on the offense and do the attacking.
Okay, but do you think America was justified in joining Israel in the attack on Iran?
No.
No.
I don't think nobody thinks that.
Absolutely not. Because we started the war. I'm not for starting any war. We fired the first shot. Plain and simple. You want to put it in Rambo terms? We drew first blood.
Many would argue, of those who support the war, that Iran had drawn a lot of blood through this regime for a very long time. They had supported and propped up. Well, hang on, Jesse. They had armed groups like Hamas and the Houthis and Hezbollah for decades. They had wreaked utter havoc, drawing enormous amounts of blood, and that actually the reason America and Israel had to deal with them now was that they were imminently going to get a nuclear weapon and may well use it. What do you say to that?
Well, here's what I say. Let's get the real history in. You know, I listen to people like Congressman Lawler in New York. They all love to go back to 1979, the day the Ayatollahs took over. They conveniently don't go back to when I was alive. I'm a little older than them. Let's go back to 1953, shall we? When Iran had a democratic elected president, the United States didn't like him. We pulled a coup d'etat, and what did we do? We stuck the authoritarian dictator, the Shah, in power. That's when the I Hate America started, was way back in the 50s when we interfered in their democratic elections. But how convenient we are.
So you
that
don't
we
agree with
forget
Jesse?
that. Then in 1979,
I think you make a
what
good
took
point.
place, the Ayatollahs took over, who were probably worse than the Shah. But let's remember, the hatred of America was started by America.
Hypocrite.
It was not started by the Iranians. We interfered in their government way back in the 50s and overturned their democratic elected president, and then the dictatorship started with the Shah and now went to the Ayatollahs, and here we are today. But I'd like for Congressman Lawler to at least try to go back in history from before he was born to see what could have occurred, and that the United States was the person that caused the hatred between the two countries.
Yeah, Jesse, I know you're very scathing of Trump now. There was a time when you were on more friendly terms. Here's a clip from you both at WrestleMania 20.
You know what? I think that we may need a wrestler in the White House in 2008.
When you look at that, Jesse, I mean, that was 12, 13 years ago, I think. Trump has also been made a WWE Hall of Famer, which I know has angered you.
Yep.
How do you feel now looking back at that clip?
I feel that simply I was doing my job. I was doing what I was asked to do at the WWE. Trump being a Hall of Famer is a tragedy. This guy has never been in the ring. I got a good friend, Ken Patera, Olympian, first man to overhead press 500 pounds, 25 years in the wrestling business. Kenny Patera is not in the Hall of Fame. Donald Trump does not belong in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. He never earned it. You know what I had to do to get in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame? At one point in my career, I wrestled 63 consecutive nights in a row. That's how you get in the Hall of Fame. When I was referring to putting a wrestler in the White House...
It sounds like he's mad that Trump is in the Hall of Fame of wrestling. He don't like that shit. Like, I think his beef with Trump stems from there, man. And that's how the fuck did Trump get in the Wrestling Hall of Fame?
I was talking about me, not him.
Really? That was a bit ambiguous.
Yeah, absolutely. I was the former governor of Minnesota. I'm the only real former wrestler. I don't include him. He's only in the Hall of Fame because he stopped an investigation against Vince McMahon, a sexual stuff.
Do you intend to run again for governor and therefore maybe president?
I don't necessarily intend to run again, but I'm working on something that could send me straight to Washington and go face to face with this guy.
Really?
He was a fighter, man.
Plans may be in the works.
I mean, he can't run for president again, so what would that involve?
Well, you'll have to find out, wait and see. I'm not going to spill it here.
You're not going to crash
But I'll put it to you this way. Wait. Piers, I'll put it to you this way. We withstood the onslaught of the Gestapo in Minnesota. Well, I was taught in war to do this. You ensure that your backyard is secure. That's the first thing you do. Well, Minnesota's now secure. We've repelled the onslaught from Trump. Now it's time for us to go on the offense. So maybe it's time to send the Navy SEAL to Washington. Maybe it's time for a showdown between the Vietnam veteran and the draft dodger.
Do you actually mean a physical confrontation? Or?
No, but if he wants it, he's in the Hall of Fame. Let's both get in the ring.
I mean, there is a UFC.
After all, he's in the Hall of Fame.
He will fight him, yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, I mean, there is a UFC.
Yeah, force need to ask. Like, what the fuck Trump did to you, man? Like, all jokes aside, like, what did he do to you? I want to know. Because he obviously, he did something to this man. It can't just be political.
Never, ever had a match.
Right, there is a UFC whole event going on imminently at the White House. Maybe they could extend it and have you against Trump.
Do you think he'd have the guts to do that? Are you kidding me?
Well, when he got shot, Jesse, to be fair to Trump,
wait a minute, Piers.
To be fair to Trump, when he got shot,
I'm going to tell you.
When he got shot, he got back up and said, fight.
Oh, yeah, right. You ever hear of a blade job? Anyway.
A blade? What, you think it was fake?
Anyway, I don't know. Where's his scar today?
Somebody died, literally, sitting behind him.
I don't know. You know, come on, Piers. You're going to tell me this guy's a big hero now?
I thought that day he
That's
was,
what you're going to tell me?
That day he was.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was.
When I first saying this shit, y'all was dying laughing like, yo, this man is crazy, man. Yo wasn't smoke, man. They better put the gloves on, man.
Then he accomplished what he wanted out of you guys.
No, I think you can be heroic on one day and you can be less heroic on others. But if you ask me, was he heroic when he got shot? Yeah, and I think those who try to pretend he wasn't actually shot or anything, it's ridiculous.
You're right. You know what I feel bad about was that if he'd have joined us in Vietnam, we might have won, huh?
No.
He could have put us. Why did he run and hide?
He
could have joined us and led us to victory.
I don't think anything would have changed the fortunes of the United States in that war.
Yeah, probably not, considered he called us all suckers, didn't he?
What would you say to Trump if you had a chance to speak to him?
I'd prefer not to speak with him. I don't have really. What would I say to him?
I don't know.
You know, he's. To me, he has no courage. He never has. I'll tell you what he is, Piers. Everybody knows these people. You're with a group of guys, and there's always one guy who will start the fight and then hold your coat. That's Donald Trump. He'll start the fight, but he'll hold your coat, and then the next day he'll tell everybody how tough he was.
Jesse Ventura, it's great to see you've lost none of your fighting spirit in the many years since I last interviewed you. Thank you very much for coming on.
Piers, I'll never lose my fighting spirit. You take care, man, and if you dare to have me on again, we'll see.
You will always be welcome. Always be welcome, Jesse. Don't you worry about that. The mere fact the show is called Uncensored,
and
it
by
was
the way,
made for you.
By the way, say hi to Mick and Keith for me.
I will. I'll text them right now.
All right, okay. I just had to show y'all that. All right, we gotta switch over to all right, we gotta cover some hip hop, man. So Gucci Mane, Pooh Shiesty, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you new. For anybody that was here for politics, we ready to switch over. Switch over to hip hop. So for all the people that was saying that Gucci Mane is civilian and all the things that y'all said, y'all know what y'all said. He a businessman. He could be able to tell he ain't snitching. Gucci Mane has decided that he's not cooperating any further than he already has. Now, I don't think they probably need him to cooperate any further. But for the people that was co-signing what Gucci Mane was doing by writing that statement and identifying these guys, what y'all think about this? For people that said I was wrong. For the people that said I was wrong, because it's been a lot. I done lost subscribers and everything. Yo, what you mean? It's a business. He be a businessman. It was a business meeting. And what else he was supposed to do? Well, why he not cooperating no more?
Is now on house arrest after he was charged along with Pooh Shiesty last week on kidnapping and robbery charges. But Big 30's attorney says that he expects to appeal. Fox 13 told you this morning that a judge in North Texas ordered Pooh Shiesty's dad, Lontrell Williams Sr., to be brought back to Dallas after he was also granted house arrest in Memphis.
Yo,
Fox 13's
something.
investigative reporter came.
Yo, these people not cooperating no more, yo. Because you gotta think, because you gotta look at it too. For one, Pooh Shiesty ain't getting out this deal. So sending Pooh Shiesty to jail, he loses. You understand what I'm saying? Pooh Shiesty is his cash cow. That was the whole reason for not wanting him to get out the deal. You feel me? He ain't wanting to get out the deal because he's making money off of him. If he goes back to prison for the rest of his life, you basically let him out the deal anyway. Yeah, he going to prison, but you're not getting the money that you was expected to get off of his, musical talents. So these guys are getting bails, and we know that the feds don't give bails. So the fact that they're getting bails on Big 30, $100,000 bail. I appreciate it. Appreciate you tapping in. Big 30, $100,000 bail. They revoked the father's bail. But the fact that bail was even a question lets you know that I don't know if they got what they said they got. Remember, yo, they haven't even been indicted yet. This is just a federal complaint. So when they file a federal complaint, you got 30 days before you put an indictment down. Now, once the indictment comes, we'll get a clear depiction on what they actually got going forward. But, all right. But Gucci Mane isn't willing to cooperate anymore. And I'm going to show y'all.
Kayla Solomon joins us live downtown at the federal court. Kayla, it was a packed courtroom for today's hearing.
You already know, right?
Yeah, Darcy, and a number of them were family members, loved ones, supporters of Big 30. Ultimately, a judge decided to assign him a $100,000 bail amount with standard bond conditions like a curfew as well as an ankle monitor. But I heard from his attorney, Arthur
But Big 30 ain't got Big 30 never been in prison before either.
Horn, who tells me he's expecting an appeal soon.
Here's a young man that has turned his life around and is trying to make something of himself. And unfortunately, he's gotten himself caught up in a situation that has nothing to do with him.
Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, was given a $100,000 bail by a federal judge with standard bond conditions. But attorney Arthur Horn says the fight to keep him out of custody isn't over.
Going to file an appeal, and they're going to appeal the judge's decision, and we will have to have another detention hearing in Texas on the same facts, just like you saw today.
Wright is one of 9 men facing federal charges stemming from the alleged kidnapping and robbery of rapper Gucci Mane and others in a Dallas recording studio in January. One of Wright's co-defendants, Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., or Pooh Shiesty, was signed to Gucci Mane's label 1017 Records. Prosecutors say the incident started when the rapper asked to be released from his recording contract, and Gucci Mane said no. Horn says Big 30 has nothing to do with that.
He has no interest in whether Pooh Shiesty has a contract with 1017 or he doesn't. They're going to make music together regardless.
Horn says he's ready to see how this case plays out in Texas.
I think the interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
So, for the people that was on my heels saying that Gucci didn't tell, and that he, since he ain't in the streets, he a businessman, he should be able to tell. Obviously, I don't think Gucci feels that way. Based off of him not cooperating anymore than he already did, I think he knows what he did was wrong.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy?
That is Fox 13's Kayla Sullivan reporting live downtown.
Y'all heard that with y'all own ears. Gucci Mane is not cooperating anymore. You know all he gotta do is say he wrote that statement on when he was on medication. If he say, I gave the feds that statement when I was on meds, that statement is non and void. Non and void. That's all you gotta say. I said the other day, man, Gucci need to do the right thing. What the fuck happened in Miami? I said the other day that Gucci need to do the right thing and free Pooh Shiesty. Offset was shot at. So hold up. Wasn't TJ and Offset beefing over money? Lord TJ says Offset owes him $10,000. This is over $10,000, right?
Absolutely wild. Cardi B is claiming that Offset and his mom robbed.
Yep, it was over 10,000. I remember that.
After trying to get $10,000 back from him that he loaned him. Now, this all stems because Lil TJ the other day posted something to Instagram. It was very kind of like spicy. And people were like, what? So Lil TJ posted some DMs from Offset in his on his Instagram story recently. And as you see, let's just see.
You gotta do a better job, bro. You gotta do a better job putting your video together, champion.
Lil TJ isn't holding back. The Bronx rapper has taken to social media to air out what he says went down between him and Offset, and it's messy. From alleged DMs to wild accusations, TJ is setting the record straight on what he claims is a $10,000 debt that the Migos rapper hasn't paid back. In a Twitch live stream on Wednesday night, TJ responded to a fan's question about his apparent beef with Offset, and his response is brutal.
Why this Offset? Offset broke. Nigga, fuck. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all the stream too. That nigga broke. That nigga pop.
According to TJ, he ran into Offset at the casino, and things didn't look good for the Atlanta rapper.
I'll tell y'all a true story, nigga. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit, nigga. In the casino, he was pop. He was panicking, nigga. He was asking random people for cash apps. He was broke.
But TJ didn't stop there. He alleged that Offset was constantly calling people for loans, but wasn't getting any responses.
I don't know what happened. Nobody was answering his phone call. He popped, trying to run up, chasing. Must got a gambling addiction. And the nigga says, yo, he just popped. He calling niggas for cash apps in front of me.
TJ says he decided to help Offset out, giving him $5,000 after Offset admitted he was waiting for bread. But instead of taking care of his situation, TJ claims Offset went right back to the casino, where he managed to scrape together another $3,000, including $1,000 borrowed from a random woman.
I ain't gonna lie to you. The first 5 I offered him, like, yo, you pop, you waiting for some bread? The nigga wait for my money. I swung that nigga 5. You know how I get. He gets popped. Not us two dicing each other. He gets popped straight to the casino. Goes not. He get another loan from somebody else for like 2 bands. I don't even take my loan. I'm like, that's Offset. I'm good on my money. I'm worried about this nigga. I got mad bread. I definitely run off a nigga on 5 bands.
At first, TJ says he let the $5,000 slide. That's Offset, he explained. But then he gave Offset another $5,000, and that's when things sour. TJ alleges that Offset never paid him back. The Bronx rapper didn't address his alleged DM exchange with Offset, explaining the threats. I'm only talking crazy because he talking crazy, TJ said. Like what? He wanted to talk crazy to me over my bread? At one point, TJ even hinted that things could have gotten physical. I would have beat him up on his birthday, he said, before adding, but you know what it is? I'm dead ass a good type of nigga. I was too sturdy, you heard? It was like I couldn't even do him like this. Now, let's take a step back and really look at this situation. What's interesting is that Lil TJ isn't the only one with a story about Offset borrowing money at a casino. Another rapper shared a similar experience during the interview, claiming Offset was asking for cash while gambling. If this is true, it raises some questions. Is this a one-time thing, or is there more to the story? But here's my take. If you owe the man, pay the man. It's simple as that. Lil TJ might not be hurting for cash, but 10,000 is 10,000. And respect is respect. That being said, why did they have to go to the public? Sure, they could have handled this privately, a phone call, a meeting, something, but maybe that was the only way TJ felt he could get Offset's attention. If Offset wasn't answering calls or texts, perhaps airing them out online was his last resort. Still, this kind of drama often does more harm than good. It not only fuels the internet gossip, but risks turning a personal issue into a public spectacle. While Lil TJ's claims are explosive, the idea of Offset being broke is hard to believe. As 1/3 of the Migos, Offset has built a legacy of multi-platinum hits and massive success. On top of that, his solo career is thriving, and he's often seen living lavishly. In fact, Offset recently spent New Year's in Dubai with a group of friends, including his rumored model girlfriend. It was reportedly a very expensive celebration. So, is Offset dodging the 10K debt, or is this just a case of exaggerated beef? One thing is for sure, when rappers air out their drama, the fans get a front row seat to the chaos. Stay tuned, because this feud might be heating up.
Now, Offset got shot. How people know TJ had something to do with it? And I ain't gonna put that
Lil
on
TJ
TJ.
isn't holding back. The Bronx
Where's
rapper
this
has
narrative
taken to social media
that
to
him
air
and
out
so
what
him
he
they
says.
say him and TJ got shot. Let's see if that's in Miami. That happened in Miami. Shooting at Miami casino.
I got the latest for shooting at Miami casino. The first headline from Bossip is Offset hospitalized from shooting near Florida casino.
It says non-threatening. I mean, non-life threatening. So Offset the only one that got shot. Offset's police shot near a casino in Florida, according to reports from TMZ. The incident happened near the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Florida. The rapper is fine and recovering at the hospital. Monday incident happened a little more than 3 years after Offset's childhood friend and Migos bandmate Takeoff was shot and killed. Why they blaming TJ? Yo, we're not gonna blame TJ over here, man. You might see Offset might have shot himself, man. Gun might have went off in his dip. And we're gonna say that.
They just shot a man. Gun violence.
We blaming Selena Powell, man. Well, whoever did it locked up, he's still mad. They was fighting first.
He's still going, he's still mad.
Man, we said Selena Powell need to be off the streets. I ain't gonna lie, she's a threat, man. She dangerous, man. They locking up Pooh Shiesty. Need to lock her motherfucking ass up.
They got this guy detained. Just shot a guy. The guy they shot.
Must have got shot in the leg or something. What's up, Makai? We got wait till some more details come out. You know, we ain't listening to them what's called goofy ass. AK-47. You're liable to say anything. That was a day ago. Oh, hip hop covered this a day ago. So how the fuck is everybody else so late? He was shot in the leg. No, I say April 6th. No, what the fuck is they talking about? She one who got that a day ago. Yeah, he was shot in the leg, although officials have yet to confirm details. Well, as long as they ain't died, man. You know, people get shot all the time, man. Earlier accounts circulating online claim the Migos member sustained a leg injury during what witnesses described as a chaotic situation inside or near the Seminole Hard Rock. Law enforcement had not publicly released details, information confirming the circumstances surrounding the reported shooting. He be alright. He be alright, man. This might be, you know, he might have needed this. He might, you know, they say he got a gambling problem. Yo, maybe this was the way to keep him out the casino. You know, the Lord works in mysterious ways. You feel me? Y'all heard that saying before? The Lord works in mysterious ways, man. Maybe Offset needed this to cure his gambling addiction. Did anybody think of that? Hey, for real though. You know, people gotta start looking at things properly, right? Yeah, Gucci reneged, man. Gucci not cooperating no more. And when they run it back, yeah, Gucci not cooperating no more. He done. It's done. So he not work with them people, man. Run it back for people that ain't see it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you new. God do work in mysterious ways. You know, 20 from Baltimore, man. We just saying God come through on so many different levels. You know what I mean? God might save you from doing some shit or save you from being a victim. You know? It's mysterious ways. He didn't save me from both. From being a suspect and a victim. You heard me? I gotta go to Instagram with that news.
Memphis rapper Big 30 is now on house arrest after he was charged, along with Pooh Shiesty last week, on kidnapping and robbery charges. But Big 30's attorney says that he expects to appeal. Fox 13 told you this morning that a judge in North Texas ordered Pooh Shiesty's dad, Lontrell Williams Sr., to be brought back to Dallas after he was also granted house arrest in Memphis. Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live downtown at the federal court. Kayla, it was a packed courtroom for today's hearing.
Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant helps me compare two different versions of the same document for key changes. It makes me feel very confident that nothing's missing and everything's accurate. With AI Assistant, we're able to focus on finding new ways to reach soccer fans.
Memphis rapper Big 30 is now on house arrest after he was charged, along with Pooh Shiesty last week, on kidnapping and robbery charges. But Big 30's attorney says that he expects to appeal. Fox 13 told you this morning that a judge in North Texas ordered Pooh Shiesty's dad, Lontrell Williams Sr., to be brought back to Dallas after he was also granted house arrest in Memphis. Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live downtown at the federal court. Kayla, it was a packed courtroom for today's hearing.
Yeah, Darcy, and a number of them were family members, loved ones, supporters of Big 30. Ultimately, a judge decided to assign him a $100,000 bail amount with standard bond conditions like a curfew as well as an ankle monitor. But I heard from his attorney, Arthur Horn, who tells me he's expecting an appeal soon.
Here's a young man that has turned his life around and is trying to make something of himself, and unfortunately has gotten himself caught up in a situation that has nothing to do with him.
Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, was given a $100,000 bail by a federal judge with standard bond conditions. But attorney Arthur Horn says the fight to keep him out of custody isn't over.
Going to file an appeal, and they're going to appeal the judge's decision, and we will have to have another detention hearing in Texas on the same facts, just like you saw today.
Wright is one of 9 men facing federal charges stemming from the alleged kidnapping and robbery of rapper Gucci Mane and others in a Dallas recording studio in January. One of Wright's co-defendants, Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., or Pooh Shiesty, was signed to Gucci Mane's label 1017 Records. Prosecutors say the incident started when the rapper asked to be released from his recording contract, and Gucci Mane said no. Horn says Big 30 has nothing to do with that.
He has no interest in whether Pooh Shiesty has a contract with 1017 or he doesn't. They're going to make music together regardless.
Horn says he's ready to see how this case plays out in Texas.
I think the interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy?
That is Fox 13's Kayla Solomon reporting live downtown tonight.
They literally have no proof that this assault happened. Outside of the pictures that they got, they don't have no proof this happened. Outside of the pictures and the witness statements and the injuries that the white boys sustained, they don't have anything else, man. And when it comes down to Big 30, like I done heard people say, Big 30 can be charged with the firearms, but they have to have evidence that he knew there was firearms in that bag. They can't charge Big 30 with possession of a firearm by Pooh Shiesty, by Gucci saying that Pooh Shiesty said, "Pass me the bag." He could have just passed him the bag. Ain't no proof that he knew anything was going on unless people start talking. I don't think none of these boys gonna cooperate. No, I don't. Based off of what they did and the respect that they got for Pooh Shiesty, I don't think none of these boys cooperate. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. But just by him passing them that bag isn't enough to charge Big 30 with no firearms. He hasn't been charged with the firearms. They charged him for record. Well, I don't know if they charged him, but in the paperwork, all they got him doing is recording the incident. Yeah, but I gotta go to Instagram because I told everybody on Instagram. I did a video in the title where I said, Gucci Mane need to free Pooh Shiesty. He the only one that can do it. And people got on my heels. People been calling me all type of names. I done lost followers on Instagram. I know what I be talking about, man, when it come down to these criminal fucking cases, man. I understand the mind of a criminal, man. Like, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But I can tell you the thought process a lot of times when it comes down. And I think when it came down to Pooh Shiesty, it wasn't just about getting out the contract. It was about the disrespect that led to the contract dispute to begin with. That's why it went from, man, sign this to give me your ring, give me your jewelry, give me your chain. You understand what I'm saying? People do that, man. People do that. And I think everything else that happened outside of the studio, like in the other rooms, I think them boys just, got caught in the mix. Adrenaline was running and it go left. But Gucci doesn't win by Pooh Shiesty going to jail. You ultimately relieving him out the contract, basically. If Pooh Shiesty goes to jail, I ain't gonna say he won, but Gucci ain't win either because now you lost the top artist, and only thing you gonna be able to make money off of is whatever he got in the vote. Shit, he might can't even get that shit. Ain't no telling what Pooh Shiesty did with the unreleased music. I doubt if it's in Gucci hands. You heard me. Based off their back and forth. But just by Pooh Shiesty passing him that bag is not enough to charge Pooh Shiesty. I'm not Pooh Shiesty. Just by Big 30 passing him that bag is not enough to charge Big 30 with possessing any firearms unless there's verifiable proof, which means that one of the guys arrested is going to have to say that Big 30 knew what was in that bag. Because Big 30 can say, shit, well, if he said I passed in the bag, that would be considered snitch. Big 30 don't need to say any motherfucking thing. You hear me? Big 30 can just say, man, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. We was there for a business meeting. That's it. I don't know anything outside of that. You know, because it's proof that they was there. They got them on camera being there. Yeah, but that's a good case though. If you got motherfucking 2 people now, because Gucci not cooperating no more. It was only 3 of them there, right? If you got 2 people saying this happened and 9 people saying it didn't happen, then that's a fight. I mean, that's a toss up. That's at least a chance to win. But I told everybody. So I'm ready to end this live because I gotta put a video up on Instagram because I caught so much backlash for saying Gucci deserved to be robbed. I caught so much backlash for calling Gucci a rat. And this is a motherfucker slap in the face to all the people that saying, yo, he ain't tell he was a businessman. What he supposed to do? Well, obviously, he thought he ain't do the right thing initially because he ain't talking no motherfucking more. You heard me? But make sure y'all hit that like button. Yeah, he's still a rat. That shit don't change. But at least, he's still a rat. But I told y'all, a lot of people can tell behind closed doors. A lot of people ain't getting on that stand. A lot of people will write them statements behind closed doors. But they ain't, man, that stand vicious. Motherfuckers ain't trying to get up on there. That shit like the walk of shame. You know what I mean? You go that bitch head down. He did it. Oh man, I don't think Gucci gonna do that. I don't think Gucci should do that. I think that if the robbery did occur, I think that Gucci has talked about robbing dudes for a long time. I think that Gucci probably has got away with some crimes. And I think that in that essence, Gucci need to look at this as karma. Cause that's how it is. That's how you supposed to look at it. Like, if something was to happen to me, I ain't in the streets right now. I ain't doing shit right now, but I have done things in the past. You know, it might just be my past catching up to you. And it catch up to you on multiple different ways. It don't have to be the person that you harmed that harmed you. It could just be some shit that happened. You know, you did shit to people, and now it's your time. Now it's your turn. And you got to accept that, yo. You don't go running to the police and writing statements and identifying people. That's not how that's not how you operate. I definitely know the federal law, fam. Like, I'm not just setting ashes, yo, on your AK-47s, bro. Like, I'm from Baltimore, bro. I done been around. I done seen things. I got homeboys that went to the feds. I got, you know what I mean? I done did time. Most of my friends been shot. Like, this ain't that, bro. Yeah, man. This ain't that. I promise you. I promise you. I done hustled on some of the most dangerous blocks in America. We talking about Gucci. I'm not talking about nobody else. We talking about the street guy. You know what I mean? We talking about the guy that been rapping gangster for 30 years. He can't snitch. I don't care what nobody else did. I don't care what nobody else did, y'all. That's like saying, the dice game get robbed, right? Does make a difference. Because Gucci rep is on the line. His integrity is being questioned. Those guys not. We talking about a videographer and a bodyguard. That's supposed to be an ex-officer. Nobody is questioning their integrity. They can do what the fuck they want to do. They can get on the stand, they can point them out. But this is what you gotta understand, Rico. They wasn't in that room. Now, they could speak to things that happened outside of the room, but they wasn't in that room. They wasn't there. It was only Gucci, Pooh Shiesty, Big 30. This is what Gucci said. And Gucci father. I mean, Pooh Shiesty father. That's it. Only way they know what happened in that room is by what Gucci told them. If Gucci stopped cooperating, then all they can do is go off that first statement. You know, they can still use the statement. But it weakens the case because you have the right to face your accuser. So if your accuser isn't coming to court, which means he can't be cross-examined, yo, that helps the case for Pooh Shiesty in there, bro. Like, yo, I'm not no rookie, bro. Like, I haven't been on fucking... You must be new here, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Get to know me, man. Yeah, right. But yeah, we're not talking about nobody else. So how did the police get? So how did the police get that jury took? What you mean how the police got the jury took? Yeah, they say Big 30 filmed it. Did it get any jury back? Yeah, I don't think the police got the contract that supposed to have been signed. I don't think the police got any of that jury back. Now, they got pictures, you know, of what seemed to be the jury that was stolen. Yo, but you think that's the only Rolex watch? Is that Rolex watch that was stolen a 101? Or was there several Rolex watches stolen? I mean, Rolex watches that resemble that one. Was that chain took a 101? Yeah, one of the things that happened in the what trial was that? Queso trial, where they was talking about the clothing, and he said, "What the fuck what term he used? Y'all remember that? What term did he use? He said that resemble doesn't mean the same. Do they got the serial numbers to that jury? Pooh Shiesty got arrested the first time because they was able to look at the money that he posted on Instagram, and they was able to identify by the serial numbers on the money. Do they have that same evidence with this jewelry that was stolen? Do these people got the receipts and say, look, this the number, this the serial number? You know, all that shit do got serial numbers on it. And look, you can look at the Instagram and tell us the same exact watch, or do that watch just resemble the watch that was stolen? Was that Julio? Was that Queso trial? What trial was that? No, that was Young Dolph trial. That was Young Dolph trial. And they were talking about street drop. Had on the same clothing. And his lawyer did an excellent job, even though he lost. Resemble doesn't mean the same. It can resemble it. Motherfucker can have the same chain as mine. You know, it can resemble my chain, but that don't make it necessarily the same chain. It just resembles it. I'm just saying there's room to fight. That's all I'm saying. And it don't matter what those guys, other guys told him. We talking about Gucci, the guy that rap gangster, the guy that admitted he was a robber. He admitted this. He admitted that he robbed niggas for a living. He admitted that BMF didn't want to fuck with him because he was a jack boy. And for the people that's saying, well, they already told it don't matter. That's like saying if a dice game get robbed, right? Say it's 3 of us at a dice game. It get robbed. 2 of y'all go tell the police. And y'all tell the police, well, Keep It G News was there too. I don't have to tell the police the dice game got robbed. I can tell the police I don't know what the fuck they talking about. You understand what I'm saying? I will tell the police I don't know what the fuck they talking about. You think the black community is the only people that care about snitching? Yo, Trump is trying to find out who leaked to the New York Times about their plans to bomb Iran or their plans to on a rescue mission. Yo, nobody likes Iran. It's not the black community, man. Stop falling for nonsense. Nobody likes a rap, man. Yeah, I mean, he might do violate. He might violate. Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. Nobody's denying Pooh Shiesty crashed out. I understand it. I can't say I understand being so angry that common sense goes out the window. It happens. You know, it's human. You know, it happens to people. It's not like it never happened before. You know, we never seen nothing like this. A rapper on the level of Pooh Shiesty robbing a rapper / CEO. You know, we ain't never seen nothing like that. But just on a smaller level, yo, people get upset all the time, yo, and flip out and end up in jail. It happens, yo. It's not like it's uncommon. It's not uncommon, man. Yeah, no culture respect snitching, man. I don't know what the fuck people be talking about with that shit. Y'all better stop letting people put that shit on black people. Don't nobody respect the snitch. People don't like the snitch at work. You beating the dead body, bro. What you talking about? I'm just saying. You see, the real Gucci Man is dead. Nah, I think the real Gucci Man is being suppressed by medication. That's what I think is going on. I don't think the real Gucci Man is dead. I think the real Gucci Man is being suppressed by medication. That's what's happening to Gucci Man. That's why. And on certain levels, some of the things that he did probably need to be suppressed. But I think they're using his medical status and his health issues as a way to control him. Right. Ain't nobody cloning no rapper, man. Out of all the people, all the things that can be cloned, we cloning animals that's dying off and shit like that. You think we gonna clone a fucking rapper? What you mean? What's the false narrative? You saying Gucci is dead. I'm telling you, based off of what Keisha said on the Breakfast Club, yo, Gucci is heavily medicated. Gucci can get out that statement by saying he was medicated at the time of writing it. He can get out that statement that way. Man, I was out my mind. I just took my medication. He can get out that statement that way, yo. By saying he was on meds. He wasn't in his right frame of mind when he said it. He on what's that? Antidepressants. And that's what you take when you are bipolar schizophrenic. Do people take antidepressants when they are bipolar schizophrenic?
Yes, people with bipolar disorder or schizophrenia can sometimes take antidepressants, but the usage varies depending on the specific diagnosis and symptoms they experience. For medical advice or a diagnosis, consult a professional.
Yeah, Gucci stopped cooperating. Gucci stopped cooperating. Hey, Chuck and John, was you one of them ones that say Gucci ain't tough? And that Gucci was a civilian? And he should be able to snitch because they ain't in the streets? You say he take anti... So what's it called? What are the side effects of medication for bipolar schizophrenic?
Medications for bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, which often include antipsychotics and mood stabilizers, can cause side effects. These include weight gain, sedation or drowsiness, dry mouth, and movement disorders. For medical advice or a diagnosis, consult a professional.
They can cause neuroleptic malignment syndrome, a rare but potential fatal reaction characterized by high fever, confusion, and or rigid, stiff muscles. People be suicidal. These are rare symptoms. Mood stabilizers. What the fuck did I lie about? Yo? What did I lie about? You are trying to tell me that Gucci is dead. And they cloned it. I think you're lying, man. I'm coming at it from a more logical aspect. Because we know he take medication. And those medications can suppress the real you. That's why he take it. Did you hear his wife? When she talked about it? He say things that he don't mean to say. He starts sending people money. He take his medication. You did say they cloned him, man. We say he said he did or something. Oh, so he's dead. And the clone is on meds. Okay, I got you, man. I got you. Man. So Gucci Man is dead. And the clone is being suppressed. Man, shit. Yeah, the fuck it will. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about, man. I don't know why people don't like listening. If a person gives a statement to the police while on medication, can you challenge that statement?
Yes, you can challenge a statement given to the police if the person was on medication. However, proving that the statement is inadmissible usually involves showing the medication caused significant impairment or that police used unfair methods. For legal advice, consult a professional.
Yo, who is you? Enrico, tired. Not studying Nash, bro. Not studying Nash, bro. Look, let me show you something. You see this? Let me show you something, bro. Look. You see this? This right here is a discovery packet. You see this? Look. This is a picture. This is a picture that a motherfucker wrote. And said that the homicide put together. They try to show the crime scene and where evidence was discovered. You see this? This is an arrest charges. You see it? Let me just give you. These are cell phone records gathered throughout the investigation. This is a warrant. You see that? Content to use electronic eavesdropping equipment. This is for phone taps. What else I can show you, man? Like, yo, I'm not them other guys, bro. I do not be on here just talking, bro. This is a waiver of a person Miranda rights. Did I gotta continue? Hey, Rico, you ain't going nowhere, did you? Look, this is an order to get cell phone, Sprint, Nextel Communications, Singular Wireless. This is a warrant to get this phone. Shit, I mean to get them phones extracted for information. Now one thing you're not gonna do over here, yo, is question my knowledge of law, yo. I haven't been through this shit too many times. I haven't been in the law library. I've covered countless cases on YouTube. That's one thing we're not gonna do over here, bro. Trust me, y'all know what I'm talking about. This is a motion for discovery. We're not gonna do, man. No, man. Motherfuckers just be talking, man. Look, motherfucker bad. Yeah, what you bad for, yo? I'm just showing you my credentials, man. I mean, don't you ever talk to somebody that got some credentials? I'm showing you my credentials as to how I know what I'm talking about and why. What is this? This is a warrant tracker. See what they was looking for? Signed off by Judge Cahill. Probably seized as name in the search warrant. Handgun and ammunition. Probably actually seized a Nextel NVA cards as residence. So they didn't get no gun. Search and seizure warrant. They was looking for a 38 handgun and ammunition. You see but they didn't get none of that. All they got was a motherfucking all they got, it don't matter if it's state or federal, bro. It don't matter if it's state or federal. Did I just tell you how many motherfucking cases? How many cases I fucking covered over this bitch, state and federal? I'm the only person. Have old Block 5 got sentenced yet? I wonder what's taking their sentence in so long. You just new here, y'all. No, it don't. Yo, the feds is no different than the state. Only reason the feds conviction rate is so high is because they able to they get away with lying. They get away with corruption. Their prosecutors ain't no better than the motherfucking state. They ain't got special prosecutors. You know what I mean? They just be cheating and they lie. I'm saying, bro. I'm just saying, y'all. Question those other guys, man. They be lying to you. I don't be over here lying. I wish it was Jay Walton took him. I fucking wish. Yeah, and people cop out. Yeah, they cheat and lie. That's good. I mean, that's not good, but just because you've been to jail or been in prison, don't mean you know law, y'all. Motherfuckers go to jail all day, all the time, and don't pay attention to law. I cover cases over here. I read paperwork over here, bro. I read paperwork over here, y'all. At one point, I was the only person on the internet telling everybody that Diddy case was garbage and he was going to beat the RICO, man. Nobody else. Go back. Go back and see when Diddy case first started and see who was covering it and see who was saying what. I was the only person on YouTube that I seen that was like, yo, this case is garbage. Way before it went to trial. People that was over here telling you. Just by reading paperwork. I said YNW Melly wasn't going to get found guilty. I said Alicia Andrews wasn't going to get found guilty on that motherfucking, on the murder. I go on. ASAP Rocky said ASAP Rocky was going to be his case. I said O Block 5 case is going to get overturned, and it is. Just wait. That's why they ain't been sentenced yet. Shit different, bro. That's all I'm saying. I don't know why people so scared of the feds, man. I know their conviction rate is high. I know they can use hearsay evidence, but we're not even talking about. I'm talking about the fact that if Gucci don't testify, that helps Pooh Shiesty case, y'all. Regardless if it's state or federal, man. You have a right to face your accuser, man, in state court and federal court. Now they can use those statements. I'm not saying they can't use the statements that he already made, but it lessens the credibility of those statements if you don't testify to them in court, y'all. That's just how that go. No matter if it's state or federal, bro. That's how it go in all courts. It lessens the credibility of it. Because why you can't stand on it? You know, you can't just make statements and don't stand on it. You got to stand on these statements now. And if you can't stand on these statements, a juror or two might think that the statements might not be credible. That's all. I mean, I don't think his reputation can get better, you know, because he already made the statements. But I think that I think business wise, it's best for him to let Pooh Shiesty come home. Because like I said earlier, if the objective was to keep him locked in the deal, you didn't want to let him out. If he goes to jail, he ultimately gets let out the deal. You know what I mean? So what the fuck? So at that point, then what? If he asked me let him out, if he asked me get out the deal anyway, yeah, you can continue to eat off the music he already got, but I don't think that was the purpose of not letting him out the deal. You wanted to not let him out the deal so you can eat off the future music that he gonna make in the future. But if he go to prison for the rest of his life, it ain't no feature music. You feel me? That's it. Sitting, that's all. Let's see what the Lord for Works dude had to say. Oh, this big 30 on the yard. They already got him on the yard and shit. Folks recording his ass. He look like he out of place. That's the worst day, y'all. When you first get locked up, you know. I mean, you searching for motherfuckers you know, and he probably don't know nobody. He in Texas. Yo, we're not talking about how much time Pooh Shiesty is gonna get, yo. We talking about Gucci, man. Pooh Shiesty might ultimately go to jail. He fuck around, violate his parole or probation.
Pooh Shiesty update. I'm gonna play the clip. The clip puts to bed any idea that Pooh is cooked. You're gonna hear Big 30's lawyer talking about Gucci's plans on testifying. For good measure, the reporter from a respected news outlet out in Texas saying the FBI hasn't exactly heard from Gucci. Check this out.
Interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear.
I mean, he need to maybe let him home was the bad word to use. Gucci need to help his chances of coming home by not testifying. Now, he's probably also still going to violate and do the rest of his time. But to stop him from getting any further time, Gucci need to, stop cooperating.
From an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy.
If Gucci does not testify, the question of is Pooh cooked comes down to 2 paragraphs in the complaint plus 1 picture. I'll show them to you and walk you through it. What's very interesting about the picture is this is not like what you might imagine the recording studio
That's what they
looks
said
like,
right here.
with a
Businessman
couch,
now, man.
a bunch of buttons.
I gotta take that on Instagram, because Instagram tried to roast me for saying that, calling him a rat, and said that he don't need to testify. Now he said he ain't cooperating no more.
Boards, a glass plate, and then boom, the recording area directly in front of you. It looks like the recording area is
They
somewhat
probably
off to the
did. They
side.
probably took the camera. You're right. I agree too, Big Ball. They probably got rid of the camera footage. Cause how they got all these still images, but they ain't got no camera footage. They probably took that shit, man. They try to protect Pooh. They try to protect Pooh Shiesty, man. After they probably thought about it, after the dust cleared, they'll probably like, man, I can't let that boy go to jail, man, forever.
Completely enclosed. It is not at all clear that anybody in the control room could actually see into the studio. And it's definitely clear that there could be people in parts of the control room who would not be able to see into the recording area at all. What does that mean? Well, we know the security guards were outside in the hallway. And we know that the only people who were in the control room were the...
Didn't I just say this, Rico? Now you got a lawyer explaining it to you too. I just said this, man. I don't even know what he's ready to say, but I know he's ready to allude to exactly what I just said. They wasn't there to witness it, man. They can only testify to what they seen on the outside. But Big 30, Pooh Shiesty, and the father, they can't testify to that. The whole account of what happened inside that room came from Gucci Mane, man. If he's not cooperating, if he's not testifying to that,
business people. Gucci is inside the recording studio. When you read paragraph 21 and you read paragraph 22, it's funky. It doesn't exactly make a lot of sense. So if you read it, I want you to follow along. They say Big 30 barricades the door to the studio. They say that the security guards try to barge in, and when the security guards barge in, they get a peek and they see that they're outnumbered by the armed target suspects. It does not say that they are outnumbered by an armed Pooh Shiesty. Instead, they lump Pooh Shiesty in with the whole group of target suspects, suggesting that the security guards only saw other people, not Pooh with the gun. Later, where it's alleged that Pooh has the gun, he's allegedly holding it to the back of the head of one of the business people. And so, if there's anybody here other than Gucci who seems like they could put Pooh away, it's going to be one of the business guys. And so that's going to be ultimately, that guy's testimony seems to tell you where this entire case is headed. Everybody on the internet, I know you want to be so right, but the accused, when they get the full weight of the feds on them, deserve more than banter and gossip. Now that you have some facts from my video, you could go ahead and gossip about what that means about how this is going to play out, because this shit's about to get crazy. Pooh Shiesty.
Come on, man. Yo, if I don't know nothing else, I know law, y'all. I do. Finesse 2 times. Somebody said finesse 2 times need to go out like Pooh Shiesty. And this is what he said. And please quit saying I should mob ties like Shiesty did Gucci. Shiesty 24, 25 years old. I went to the feds at 25. Bro still had some growing up to do. But me, put a gun in a place of business in 2026 with all these cameras and DoorDash, what the fuck, and doorbell door cameras, and I got an ankle monitor on? Hell no. Tell your mama go rob Junior and make him release me. Fuck that. And what the fuck? I hate reading rappers, man. Release me. Motherfuckers ain't finna get 30 years. I'd rather be stuck in a contract for 90 years than in jail for 30 years. At least I got a chance to win again. Yeah, you right.
It's just, I mean, they can't control me, bro. They can't control me, bro. Like, you can't tell me what you want me to pull up in. You can't tell me I gotta pull up in a Sprinter. I pull up in 7 cars, nigga. You can't, if I'm here, I'm here. You know? And that's on purpose to let you know you can't run me, bro.
He is a blogger now.
You know, if you call me to anything, I'm gonna be boosted. You call me to anything, I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm gonna be boosted, bro. I ain't gonna be what you want me to be, cause I'm not that. You know, I'm not that, bro. You know, you're not gonna bring me nowhere, and I gotta sit in a chair like a little boy, or I gotta sit in a chair like a student at a college. Nah, bro.
Big baller.
You bring me to awards, I'm gonna turn this.
Hell no, I gotta go work tomorrow.
I'm at awards. This is a lifetime experience. I'm gonna act an ass. I came in. I'm gonna have fun, bro. You know that's just me, bro. Like you can't handpick me. I'm feared, bro. My realness is too real, bro. They don't know what they gonna do. I'm feared, bro. Why you think they don't want me around? That's why you think that, bro. Just think about it, bro. This ain't more famous than me.
Straight
real
up,
shit,
me
bro.
too.
Real shit, bro.
Yeah, they're not in Dallas, yo. I mean, they in Dallas, but it's the
I went
face.
to awards and got off the plane with 9 different artists, bro. And when I get off that plane and when I walk, when we all walking by each other, everybody in the airport, that's Boosie. They don't even know it's like that. That's Boosie. Old women, young women, kids, 4-year-olds, 84-year-olds, gangsters, YNs. They see this. That's Boosie, man. That's Boosie. I'm talking about a million.
Hey, yo, Pooh Shiesty was wilding when he said that.
Right. Celebrities who sell way more records than me. But when we get off that plane, you know who everybody know? Boosie bad. This ain't no cap, bro. This ain't no cap, bro. And they fear that, bro. It's not just the black community, man. I'm talking whites, bro. Talking whites, everybody, bro. I'm telling you some real shit, bro. Like, that's why they try to X me out, bro. That's why they don't want me in these circles, bro.
Boosie might corrupt niggas' mind. They need niggas they can control. They don't need niggas like Boosie around them niggas.
I'm telling you, bro. When they see that Boosie fade, that's Boosie, nigga. You know? And it ain't just no black community. This Asians, whites. White people love me,
They
bro.
might be, yo.
White people love me, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know, bro. But just like I got that love, just like I got all that love,
Damn, yo.
got a whole organization of motherfuckers trying to bring me down, bro.
Bad,
A whole organization of powerful motherfuckers trying to bring me down, bro. Some powerful motherfuckers. Yeah. Like you saying, no Grammys and all that. They called the motherfucking Grammy. Don't have him now. You know, that's the shit I get. You know,
Cause he
like,
did
bro, like, telling you, bro.
originally.
Cause they know I'm gonna show out, bro. Who showed out at that Grammy performance? That throwback shit we did with the Grammy. Who showed out the most at that place, bro? I made the whole everybody stood up. When I got up there, everybody stood up, bro. You know why? Because people been waiting on me to get my shine, bro. The industry know what they doing to me. The industry know what they doing to me, man. You know how many I did songs with that ain't never come out, bro? Major artists who I could really call out, you know, but it wasn't them, bro. It's the labels, bro. They told me, bullshit, bro, they wouldn't even let me drop it, bro. Because of you, bro. They say the shit you talk about, bro.
That's
crazy. They wouldn't even let me drop it.
I can believe that.
You know, I can call out 3-4 niggas right now, bro, who called me for a feature and I did it, bro. But when it was time to put the album out, guess what the label said? No. They said no. You know why? Trying to block my shine, my nigga. They know what I get paid off a feature with them. I don't split my money. They artists split their money 4 different ways. They don't want to give me no money. They don't want to get me paid. You know, I get all of it. You see what I'm saying, bro? Like, I done did features with, and I respect them for, but they don't have the power. But I respect them when they tell me the truth and say, Boosie, bro, them mother wouldn't even let me put it on my album, bro. I kind of knew that already, you know what I'm saying? I gotta respect it, you know? You ain't a boss, man.
Yeah, but I don't think they got the contract.
You ain't a boss, man.
Like, only person that's saying that happened is Gucci. If they don't got the contract and Gucci start cooperating, then did they really rob Gucci and make him sign a contract? I guess the jury had to decide.
A lot of niggas I done did, they couldn't put it out, bro, because
they need that contract.
You know, if they ain't eating with you, they don't want you to eat. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't eating with you, they don't want you to eat, man. If they ain't eating with you, they don't want you to eat, bro. What you think about finesse contract? Everybody signed that contract, man. I had the same thing, bro. I think they did the same contract for everybody label. They just changed the motherfucking name. That's all a part of your first contract. You gonna sign that? That's gonna be fucked up, bro. I had that shit about 10 albums. You gonna be on that shit about 20 years. Like that shit, that's a basic contract. That's a no limit contract. That's a cash money contract. That's a Trill Entertainment contract. That's a Rap A Lot contract. That's every contract, bro. You sign that to get in the game, bro. It's just you gotta figure out the wiggle out that motherfucker.
Yo, didn't I say that earlier when I was talking about the quarterback, the quarterback that got signed to be the second string quarterback? And you outplay your contract? Wasn't I just talking about that earlier? Now you trying to go back to say I need more money? And the motherfucker say no, I need you to pay out these next 2 years? That's fucked up, man. Do the right thing, man.
But that's every contract. That ain't just no finesse contract. Everybody contract was in. I was in the same shit, bro. Sign my life away, my mom.
You see that long, Rico? Man, sleep to you,
sign
man.
My life away. That's everybody contract. I think they got the same contract with every label. That shit, that's from Rockefeller. That's from everybody, bro. Like, I'm being honest, bro. Like, everybody got that same subcontract, bro.
Finesse could have went independent too.
I was in the same thing, man.
Finesse had fire when he came straight home. He ain't even had to sign. But that money be in your face, you broke. It's hard to turn down that $1 million they offer you. And a lot of times you don't realize that's all you're gonna get. Yeah, right? Most of these rap Meek Mills talked about it. They get one check from the label, man. That's it. You gotta do some shows. Finesse fucked himself over because he had so many bad situations happen at shows. And Finesse 2 times was cocky and arrogant when he was getting money. That's he need to humble himself this time. This go round. It'll last longer.
That shit a fucking headache. That shit drive you crazy, bro. Like, but that's all a part of the game. You gotta get in it. You know, you just gotta figure out how to come to terms.
I mean, Boosie still doing shows though. You know, Finesse 2 times was giving niggas re-rock verses. I mean, going to shows, sending his brother in place of him. Finesse 2 times was doing a lot of wild shit. That's why I ain't really got no sympathy for him, for the situation he in with rap a lot, because he put himself in a hole a lot, like not just one instance. Yeah, Boosie just got a lawsuit thrown out. They tried to hit him with a wrongful death at a video.
That's just the industry contract. That contract, that first contract you signed, bro. You're just trying to get in the game, bro. But you owe so much, bro. Like, you owe so much, bro.
Yeah.
That ain't just finesse. Everybody, bro. Everybody. And then I'm glad I got out there, bro. I swear, bro. I'm so glad I got out there, bro. That shit had me beefing with my CEOs, rapping about them. Shit a headache, bro. Shit a headache, bro.
That was a long ass video. They broke this boy in the joint. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, he ain't even facing no whole bunch. I think he might be facing 5 years max. And yo just put out a public apology to the Jews. Like they are breaking them though. Like he should have been in court by now. Like why the fuck is this court date taking so long? This nigga been locked up about a year. All they're gonna do is release him when he go to court. Give him fucking probably get time served with the months. He'll probably go to a federal prison for like 4 months before he get released.
King David, shorty, I just want to make a public apology to all the Jews out there, to the Jewish community, anybody I offended with my content. You know, like I never knew that y'all had so much power, that y'all had, like, y'all really are God chosen people.
Look, he done lied. yo, he went to go as far as the lie. Say they God chosen people. That is not. These. Come on, man. We know now, yo.
You know, during the Passover holiday, a time of redemption for all the Jews around the world, I take the opportunity to reach out and speak with Rabbi Wise from the Zedek organization and to redeem myself. You know, especially the Jews in Eastern Paraguay. You know, I just want to make a public apology for going to y'all secret tunnels. You know, I wasn't trying to make a mockery out of y'all religion. You know, King David, man, I apologize. Okay, David.
Yeah, they made that man apologize, man. Yo, crazy. I'd have never apologized. Nigga, you already been sitting in there. Fuck you apologizing for now.
Okay, David, shorty, I just want to make a public apology to all the Jews out there, to the Jewish community, anybody I offended with my content. You know, like I never knew that y'all had so much power, that y'all had, like, y'all really are God chosen people. And I just want to apologize, you know, during the Passover holiday, a time of redemption for all the Jews around the world, I take the opportunity to reach out and speak with Rabbi Wise from the Zedek organization and to redeem myself. You know, especially the Jews in Eastern Paraguay, you know, I just want to make a public apology for going to y'all secret.
Yeah, like, you can tell they fucking them over because they should have been settled this case. It's only a fucking handgun case. Like, it don't take a year to settle a fucking handgun case while you in custody. Ain't like he fighting from the streets. The fact that he did get a bail, but they fucked him. They charged him in New Jersey. Meanwhile, he live in New York. So he don't have any family in New Jersey to use the address to come home.
I wasn't trying to make a mockery out of y'all religion. You know, King David, man, I apologize. King David, shorty, I just want to make a...
Man, King David, man, free that boy, man. He gonna come out. He gonna be a pastor. He gonna be a pastor when he come home. Pooh Shiesty lawyer says We are still evaluating the alleged evidence against Mr. Williams, Jr. At this time, after the bond hearing on Mr. Williams, Sr. and the testimony we reviewed, it appears that there is a significant gap in the statements made by the government and the actual evidence. As such, we have been reviewing those issues in anticipation of Mr. Williams, Jr. bond hearing. Now, he got a bond hearing. He going to be a pastor, y'all. He got a bond hearing Wednesday. More likely, he's going to no bail. I think that's about it. NBA Youngboy was shot at.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Cardi B. Yo, who stole Cardi B card in Baltimore, man? Which one of y'all Baltimore and stole Cardi B card, man, and spent $60,000 on it?
If I get the address before them, I'm gonna get y'all beat the fuck up. Word to my mother. I'm gonna get my niggas to spank the shit out of y'all. Cause I know when y'all read my card and y'all saw my name, Belcalis M. Manzar, I know y'all Googled who the fuck that was. And I know y'all was like, oh shit, bitch, we got Cardi B card, bitch. We gonna have a good time, bitch. Yeah, you gonna have a good time, bitch, in the penitentiary, bitch. That's where the fuck you gonna have a good time.
Who stole that card, man?
If I get the address before
Who did
them,
it?
I'll say about 2-3.
Whoever did it, yo, hit the cash app, man. Send me a couple hours, man. Send me about a couple thousand or something, man. 2,000-3,000. Yeah, man.
2 weeks ago, I noticed that like 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, so it ain't nobody in Baltimore.
I'm gonna guess
it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, my credit card was missing.
God damn it, wasn't nobody.
Which is
in Baltimore.
funny because I don't know if I don't know because I always have it in my purse and everything. But either way, these people, I never seen these people before.
No, it wasn't in Baltimore.
So let me tell y'all something about me. Y'all know Cardi B don't fucking play about that bread. You know I don't play about my money, right? So my credit card, my Amex, is connected to my phone. Bitch, every single time that something is purchased with my Amex, I get a notification like a nigga is texting me. Ding, 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 ding. Bitch, it don't fucking matter if I go to a fucking bodega. It don't matter if I purchase something online. If something is purchased off my Amex, my shit go ding, 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 ding right away, right? So why I see a purchase, like a $40,000 purchase from Saks, from my Amex, and of course I got the notification right away, ding, 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 ding. So I'm like, what the fuck, $40,000 Amex on Saks? I'll say about 2-3 weeks ago, I noticed that like 2 weeks ago, I'm gonna say about 2 weeks ago, my credit card was missing, which is funny because I don't know if I don't know because. And then there was a $20,000 purchase on Apple. Right away, I already knew it wasn't no wand. It wasn't no nothing. Some weird shit was happening. And let me tell you something. Before I even called my accountant called me. Because my accountants also get a notification. Bitch, I could be ordering porn, bitch. And me and my accountant is gonna get a notification that I purchased porn from my credit card. That's how much I don't play about my money. And then there was a $20,000 purchase on Apple. Right away, damn. I already knew it wasn't no wand.
They going for the gusto.
It wasn't no nothing. Some weird shit was happening. And let me tell you something. Before I even called my accountant called me. Because my accountants also
I think they hit it for like 60,000.
As soon I was gonna call my accountants when I saw that Apple purchase, she called me before I even called her. She was like, yeah, some funny activities is going on. So let me tell you something. As soon as we saw that it was a funny activity going on, we completely cut off the credit card. But guess what, you fuckers? We automatically called those stores. We called the Saks and we called the Apple store. Let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. Y'all going to jail. I got clear pictures of you motherfuckers trying to get money out of a chase, which mind you, you can't get money out of. Well, that's another thing about my credit card. You cannot get money out of my credit card. Like, it's like you can't just go to an ATM and just think. No, but y'all tried it. So y'all tried it on the chase. So I got pictures of y'all going to chase. I got clear pictures of y'all in Saks, and I got clear pictures with y'all on Apple. Because one thing about me, I don't play about my fucking money. Like, let me tell you, and I'm gonna tell you how y'all look. Y'all look Arab and y'all look Dominican. Like, y'all in between, but to me, y'all giving more like, I don't know, like the Middle Eastern look. One of you is bald-headed with a very thick beard. One of y'all look like y'all in your early 20s with curly black hair. One of y'all got a gray silver jacket and you got a stomach. And one of y'all is short and bald with a beard. So it's for y'all motherfuckers. And let me tell you, as soon I was gonna come out.
Dang, we didn't got it for a card. Dirty motherfucker. Alright, y'all. I gotta ready to go to bed. I think we covered everything. We ain't got to hear from Charleston White bluffing ass. But y'all, appreciate everybody as always. Make sure I hit that like button, man. Make sure I subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you hit the hype button. Make sure you clip the video. I gotta post a video on Instagram for the people that said I was fucked up for saying Gucci sitting told on Pooh Shiesty because it was business. But appreciate y'all as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'm out.